The Star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the pan. That dude Biz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin, flying around the field, starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, blue jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. Hot to death, oh yes, these are the sports podcasts live as a pros course. Biz mark your way, the starting five goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window, they analyzing with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the force ever. No longer got any use for the four letters. The latest news, score stats and the view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah, no need to dig for a pardon line. It's always in season if people starting five. We going in on three, run the baseline, starting five. We got what you need. If it's sports news you see, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on three, run the baseline, starting five. We got what you need. And y'all know me, seven sign, I'm the illest cat stick. I got what you need.
And just like the weekly tradition, anytime I click live, that's when all the StreamYard issues start to happen. But whatever. It's paid for another month, so I'm stuck for another month. And y'all know who it is. It's your boy the Mayor. That DJ name H5. Your mom's favorite fat guy from deepest, darkest Africa. And we back. As always, hit that box next to Tyrone's head. Just don't hit Tyrone in the head.
You can.
And use the code and use that code at hooksrub.com. Starting five to get 20% off your order. I know we get into the weeks and weekends and all that, and I'm gonna wait till all of y'all will go because I didn't really get into anything, but I have something that I'm gonna drop on y'all that I didn't tell y'all yet. What up, Tyrone?
My week was very interesting. I had my second grandchild, Willow, was born, and yeah, that was that was a fiasco because this daughter is very emotional, very crybaby, very panicky, very So I'm just glad that the baby's out and everybody's healthy. And I like the name Willow Mariella. That was the name. It grew on me a little bit. At first I was like, what the hell? But my daughter's a little hippie style, so it works for her. And then I got this.
Is the dad Latino or Hispanic?
No, the dad's I don't want to say it, but the dad's name is Marie Rosa because the dad is one of those, females that have the male anatomy, you know what I'm saying? So it's complicated. But no,
okay, it's complicated. That's it.
Yeah.
It's complicated. Okay. Respect though. Respect due and congratulations.
And then I put this thing together right here this week, right? But the funny part about it is Mattel did some crazy shit. Mattel, whoever came up with this, did some crazy shit where you kind of have to use the instructions. I tried to put it together without using the instructions, and what happens is there's some little tiny intricate instruction parts that you will not know to do without the instructions, but if you don't do them, the shit just won't be right. Like, it'll line up, you can get it together with all your memory in your head space and the pictures and everything, but it just don't click in right, don't line in right, and then you go to the instructions and, you got to flip this one little piece. So they make sure that you need them. For whatever reason why, they got these little parts in there that they make sure that if you don't read the instructions, you'll never know to do this little flip or this little button or this little press. So I got like, I'm gonna say I got like 60% of it done, and then it was stuck. And then the point where I got stuck, I had to go back and start over, man. So I'm just gonna say, if you get devastated, if you get Transformers, that something like that, just don't try to be smart. Just get the instructions out and do it the right way. But what up, TJ?
What's up, guys? Sorry, I got some family issues. I got to leave early in about a half hour, so uh, I'm here. It's good seeing
Okay.
y'all.
I don't think
Um,
we having a long show anyway because we really got one topic.
um, Congrats again, brother. For being
Oh,
a pop
thanks.
pop one more time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey,
how
Hmm.
many how many is that now for you?
two, and it's Grampy. I told y'all I don't fuck with the pop pop.
Just don't smell like Grand P.
Yeah,
Yo,
I'm gonna just call you GP for short. All
yeah,
right.
GP. That's banging right there. I might pick that up.
General
GP.
Pops.
That's what my daughter calls my father, GP. So
Okay, that's cool. Matter of fact, I'm about to tell my kids to get on that. Get on the GP train.
yeah, it's been 6 weeks since the Knicks won the chip. I'm still in the glow and disbelief that they really did it. The weather's been gorgeous out here. I got sauced yesterday. Life is good. Life is good.
Good,
Life is good. No
good.
complaints.
So
But
before we get into the lone topic that we really have to discuss, which is the obvious LeBron James. Oh,
Wait,
um,
it's not AZ Fudd? She dropped 30 in the 3-point contest.
dope,
Boom.
dope.
I think
But
Ryan Clark getting laid off in the middle of the show.
Oh my
that
God.
too. But even better than all of that, right? So I came across an advertisement on Instagram. I looked up the website. I got to thinking. I was just like, oh, this actually roams in the area and the avenue that I love to collect, which is vinyl records. And there was a company that you could print limited copies of no specific amount. It's actually very, very decently priced. So I'm gonna do some exclusive shit that I've, of course, never heard no other podcast doing because I'm gonna make sure we first. And I'm pressing up our two theme songs made by Fred Binns, That Dude Binns, and Seven the Panther. The two theme songs that them brothers did for us, I'm putting up on vinyls with instrumentals. And I just felt like, you know what? Let me just do some super exclusive shit. Limited run. So if you've been a supporter of ours and want to cop one, it'll be up to you. I'll decide what the price is. They might just be, I just might order 25 of them just to give away. I don't know yet. Other than obviously the teammates get a copy. I got to send JP a copy because he was there from the beginning. I got to send Benz and Bunchy a copy. And then, of course, because it's my vinyl collective family, I have to send Wiki a copy and hope the
Of
brother
course.
Ian. But
Of course.
after that, the last like 10 to 12 or 15 or whatever's left, they might be up for sale. But we will definitely be doing some type of a giveaway for those who do like to cop vinyls and do like to just collect vinyls. You could get a piece of our history in your collection. And I can promise you it's going to be a super limited because ain't nobody else, literally, ain't nobody else gonna have this shit other than me creating it and distributing it to you. That's it. The website that I found, like I could even make it like a digital store. I'm not doing that. Just send me the 25 and it's dead right there. So coming soon, the Star 5 podcast theme songs on vinyl with instrumentals. With instrumentals. And then maybe because I'm thinking about it right now as I talk, because y'all know how my brain just goes with ideas. Maybe we'll do like a contest one day where we'll drop the instrumental. Whoever gives the best bars, we might do
Oh
something.
shit. Yeah, that's dope. That's real
That is
dope.
dope. That is dope. I'm
I'm
with
down
that.
with that.
And and the instrumentals are fire. The songs are fire,
Yeah,
but the instrumentals are fire. So
yeah.
get
So
on that if you can.
once again, thank you to the brother Ben. That dude Ben's. He just texted me before we started to send me the files because I asked him 2 days ago. I gotta hit up Seven to get his phone number so I can get his mailing address, and then yeah, now it's just gonna be once the money comes in, which I think the money might hit tomorrow. Which the other thing that I could say that I've been working on is I might be buying a second car because I had to tell my daughter who she wanted to go do the whole dorm situation with school, right? I think I told y'all about that. And with said dorming situation, I had to tell her, like, listen, if you want to go dorm, that's cool. But you understand once you're gone, it's all on you. It's all on you. And mommy and daddy will help you if we can, if you are in like a severe crunch. But if you want to go, because the reason why she wanted to dorm is because when track season starts, a lot of early events, early meets, things like that, she got to get up from where we live to PT it to CSI. It's a bit of a mission, especially when you're rolling at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, trying to get to the school for 6, and public transportation at that late runs at every hour. So I get it. I get it. But what I had to tell her, listen, we got you here. We're not chasing you out. We're not kicking you out. And how about this? I helped you. We got your permit, right? Hopefully that's still active, by the way. That's the other thing. I don't know if a permit's still valid. But if it is, I was like, look, I'll pay for a driving class for you because I got what I wanted. You drove with me first. I took you out one time, couple times. We did twice. And I haven't been the best with coaching you. So I would rather you go to a school so you could do the 5 hour class, get all of the necessaries in one shot, get your license. I'll make sure we have a second vehicle here for you so you can now just get to and from. Point is
Yeah.
if you are somebody's child, like if your parents are willing to help you, listen, listen up and take advantage of that. Because like I've described before, like I wasn't kicked out of my house. I wasn't chased out of my house as soon as oh, you're 18 now. Now you got to figure life out. Get out and figure life out. No, 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 no. We've talked about this show on this show so many times in the past. Us black parents need to stop doing that shit. We need to stop doing that shit. And we get behind our kids. Shout out to Coach Casey, the brother. What up? We need
Yeah,
to get
cool.
behind our kids. And so like I told her, I'm gonna get a second car. It's the house's car. You'll be able to use it. It's not yours yet, but it's the house's second car. You know what I'm saying? So where if your mama wants to go somewhere, you got to drive, whatever, whatever, you could take the nicer car. Leave me the other one with the higher mileage and stuff. So if I got to get to and from work, I'll take the chance with the car that has, AKA like a first car like Beta that she can use to just get to and from, not go crazy, not I'm going to freaking Alabama for vacation type, you know. I only say Alabama because of long distance drive. Who's going to fucking Alabama? But I digress on that. But you get the point what I'm saying. Like, I'm making sure I make the things available to make sure that, hey, so then if that car is still running and then Danielle gets her license, guess what? Now they both have something to use until you go get your own shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's about being there for the kids, being there for your people.
Take it from me, man. When I had my kids, ain't nothing better than that second car, neither too. My wife didn't drive when I first met her, and I said, "Look, we got all these kids, all these babies, all these rides ain't gonna be on me." So I taught her how to drive, got her license. As soon as she got her license, that second car was on deck. When I tell you on deck, it was on deck because just getting kids around by yourself,
hmm
being the only driver and having one vehicle, dude, that shit.
I know, I
Sometimes,
know,
man. Yeah,
I know
bro. So
firsthand.
second
I know.
car. and an additional driver, man, look, I live for days like that. I was so happy when my daughter got her driver's license. I didn't know what to do. I wanted. Keep talking about, Dad, can I get a car for your birthday? You sure can get a car for your birthday, but guess what? Same thing like you said. I said, but listen here, when mommy got to go to the market, jump on in. You know what I mean? Your sister late for
Right.
school, jump on in. Okay,
Yep.
there's responsibilities that come with that vehicle, and some of them is taking care of some of those rides I ain't taking care of. You know what I mean?
Man, listen, and like you said, there's no one person who knows that better than me. When we lived in the Bronx, my wife knows, and this ain't slander. When we lived in the Bronx, I was the whole family's ride in the Bronx. That one time, we were the only ones with a car, so I was everybody's ride. I
Mm,
was everybody's ride when feasible. You know, I'm the one that had to be here back and forth for the kids to, whether I had to rush home to get them from school or, my father eventually became to help out with that and all that. Like, I know if there's anybody who knows that, I know it firsthand that yeah, it's tough. So yeah, now I'm gonna make sure that there's a second car here, and I'm getting enough to where I could just buy some shit outright and throw liability on that bitch. The cheapest form of insurance possible, just to get it on the road, get it rolling. And that's that, But again, because I tell you, Tyrone, like I had two cars at one time with the hopes to help my wife entice her to get the license. It didn't happen. And so then I ended up running the other car until it died because I already knew that that car was about to be on its way. Is when I
Yeah.
had the minivan, TJ. That car,
Mm-hmm.
I knew when it was about to be on its way. And I got the Chevy Traverse. And then what happened with the minivan? The engine died twice after a rebuild and a replacement. Then it finally fucking just said kaput. And I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. Then I even had a car, and I had the car and the motorcycle for just in case
Mm-hmm.
shit. For
Mm-hmm.
just in case shit. And nothing happened. But because I know my daughter needs, and then my daughter, when she's not gonna be working or not in class, not whatever, like she got it. If I'm still working 4 to 12, hey Zach, come pick me up from the ferry. Now it's on her. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and I don't say it as like I never said it to my wife. I'm like I don't want to do this no more. Because that one time she took it like that, but it's not that. It's just a matter of the convenience of having another able body in that position to help. And my daughter
Yeah, because
knows
it's
that.
tough when you're the sole person for transportation and everybody. Now you got to move when they want to move. You know what I'm saying? You could be wanting to do stuff with your day. Now you got to, you know, go out of your way to do what they need to do because you're the only one that knows how to drive. And it's just like, bro, find a way to figure it out. If I wasn't here, how would y'all get there? You know what I'm saying? Um, I remember as soon as I got my driver's license, and my pops trust me to drive everywhere. That was it. My mom wasn't doing shit no more. I was running to the store. I was picking up dry cleaning. I was doing all kind of errands. Go take the car. Go take the car. I didn't care because I was driving. I just wanted to drive the car. But becomes to a point just like, damn,
oh
I got
shit,
to drive
man.
everywhere all the time. That's just crazy. But I get it. I get it. It ain't easy. But that's good, Dan. Good on you, bro. If you hope the two-car situation works out the way you want it to work out.
Oh my God, man, it's bullshit,
What
man.
happened? Where is everybody? Well, it's just me here holding down the fort for the next few minutes until these guys come back. We're having some technical difficulties, so we apologize for the delay. Yep.
And like normal, and like normal, once again, the issues remain because now it sounded like I'm coming from Cybertron, and
You
so
do.
I had to refresh the browser and all that stuff.
He muted.
Are we all in? We all good now? We hear each other?
Yeah. Yeah. I can hear you.
You still sound like Cybertron to me.
Yeah, I noticed. I recognize, and it's still breaking up. Yeah, I guess I had to leave one browser to. I think what it is my phone getting hot, but my daughter's gonna bring me something to try to help fix that, man. So but yeah, man, let's do the ESPN shit, get that out the way, and you know, there were names that was released, let go, ultimately fired from ESPN.
Did he freeze?
Yeah, I think he froze up.
Oh man.
And
Well,
Carl
go ahead.
Ravitch,
Oh,
You
there you go.
froze
He's
up
you know
back.
what?
there.
While
You back.
go ahead, speak on it. Let me try to fix it. Yeah, I know. But I was trying to mention Carl Ravitch and Ryan Clark were the two names that was the most glaring to me. But go ahead and speak on because the main one that we really wanted to discuss was the Ryan Clark being and as he had to clarify on the pivot, he was fired, not released, laid off, whatever, was fired. But go ahead
Oh,
at
he
it.
was
Let me try to
fired.
fix this situation.
Yeah. RC, he got did dirty. Um, firing. I don't understand the point of firing people mid broadcast. Like, why? What's the purpose of that? Let them finish the show. Pull them to the side and be like, "Hey, man, that's it. We can't. We're releasing you right now." And they're still paying him his contract. On top of that, they're still giving him his money. So what's the purpose of it?
Um, I'm just tired of the notes. You see, when you have this notion or this pre thing of being this tough guy, it carries with you even when you're not trying to be that dude. You know what I mean? He played in the NFL. He was a tough player in the NFL, and then he's on the pivot. And when he's on the pivot, these guys talk tough on the pivot. I don't know if you watch that show, but they get
Yeah, they
busy
do.
on there, right?
Yeah,
And they
they
talk
have real
tough on there, right?
conversations.
Right.
Yeah,
And so Ryan Clark is so called a real nigga, right? And we know that, and we
yeah,
see that outside of ESPN. We also know ESPN don't like real niggas. ESPN like Stephen A. Smith, you know what I mean? Like Coon a little bit, fake ass niggas a little bit. You know what I mean? That's what they like. They don't like real niggas. So when they see him on the pivot, they say this dude's a real nigga, right? And then they put him in situations where I can tell you right now, Ryan Clark is trying his best on ESPN to be politically correct, trying his best on ESPN to let these motherfuckers play with him, say things to him that they shouldn't say. You know what I mean? And do shit that I know for a fact that my man is sitting there stewing. You know what I'm saying? And so for them to act like, okay, the nigga's about to come out one day, that's what they was waiting on. It's almost like they was waiting on it because the situation that occurred that he got fired from was that he said, which a lot of people say, which a lot of these broadcasters and stuff take objection to, is that y'all can't, y'all ain't play football, and y'all speaking on football and y'all talking like y'all played when y'all didn't. And Ryan Clark was just saying like it's different. It's a different perspective from somebody who was in it playing it than somebody who never played before. But some of them motherfuckers got offensive by it. And Ryan Clark said he kind of during the break he kind of stepped away. And they came over to him talking about like that he was going to get violent or he was going to get amped up, and they can't have that on the set and all that. And he's like, I stepped away from it. I'm over here taking the time out. You know what I mean? I'm over here taking a break so that I don't say something I don't want to say, so that I don't get into it. You guys are putting this on me, so I don't know. I think it's just the concept of they. I think somebody over there started watching the pivot, and they said, "Hey, this nigga is too real for us." That's what I think happened.
I don't,
Dan, you muted.
Sounds like how do I sound now? Right now,
good,
Good.
perfect.
All right. I had to get some. My daughter brought me some ice to put on the back of my phone because my phone is overheating. That's what it is. But what do I say all the time though about these sports analysts and shit like that? I talk about how I give more credence to opinion from the person who did it and been there. But in a company like ESPN, it don't matter if you've been there. All you had to do was just watch it and write about it. And yeah, I mean, if Ryan Clark felt the way, good on him. But it wasn't Ryan Clark. Who was it? When did the incident happen that you was just talking about, Tyrone? Did that happen on Get Up?
Yeah, it was on Get Up. It was Ryan
It was,
Clark.
and it was no, I know it was Ryan Clark, but I forgot who he was talking to. One of those guys who is a NFL. It was Dan Graziano, right? I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. Okay.
And he said,
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm listening to Ryan Clark over Dan Graziano.
yeah, but Dan said on. Here's the thing. I don't like the fact, like I said, if you want to fire my man, if you don't like the way he talks, if he's too niggerish for you, whatever, then that's the case may be. That's cool. But Dan Graziano said on air, "Oh, here, don't belittle me," to Ryan Clark. He said that on air. And then Ryan Clark was on there saying, "Oh, I'm not trying to belittle you. What I'm saying is, there's a different perspective between a player and a non-player."
Thank
And Dan didn't let it go. He's on air saying, "No, you're belittling me. You're trying to talk down to me." And he's saying this on air, so it's like, "Oh shit," you know what I mean? And so when they went to break, Ryan just kind of like got off the set, walked away over there, and they made him the problem. And I'm like, how is he the problem when he removed himself? He's taking a break. He's cooling down. You know what I mean? And so I was just like,
you.
that's crazy that Dan can say that on air and it's cool, but now Ryan off air in a separate area trying to cool down is saying shit and it's a fireable offense, bro. That's crazy.
because because Ryan in a situation like that, I want to say Ryan understood where he was at the time. He understands the environment. He understands that corporate situation. He understands the times that we're living in. To where it was just like, you know what? Because he will be the one that get looked at as violent Negro over the
How
white
though?
guy.
You can't make that statement. And he's been there for God so many years, and he has done nothing of the sort up until he still didn't do
I
anything.
I know
So
that.
so
I
there's
know
no
that.
way that could set the table for the president of getting fired. Maybe suspended, maybe a warning, but just a fireable offense is
Well,
bullshit.
maybe they've already kind of had like, you know what? We're gonna go through another round of chopping, and maybe that was just their deciding factor. Because
Well,
again,
they
we're
could
only
have laid him
talking.
off instead of fired him like everybody
Well,
else.
laid off, fired. You don't have a job no more.
Right,
It's the same thing. Laid off,
right,
I'm
fired.
not
It's the same. It's the same thing, just with different label. It
right.
really is. It is. But I again, I just say that. I say that, not saying that they said it. I'm just giving my opinion on a
Okay,
right.
okay,
perspective. On
right.
It's
that's yeah. That's why they didn't. They clearly didn't say that. Because why would you think they would say that?
it's
Especially
not
when it's like you got people out here, which is like you see content creators and stuff, or people making comments on creators' videos talking about, oh well, Ryan Clark was a racist anyway. Ryan Clark was just pro-black in a lot of his commentary. It wasn't racism. He never spoke in like a bigoted way. He might have spoken a way that you didn't like because he was bigging up another brother or a sister or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But it again, the times we're living in, those types of thought processes amongst people, maybe they did use, all I can say is maybe they did
no.
utilize that moment as the, all right, you know what? Our decision's made. Not saying it's
Here,
fair. And I'm not, and I don't agree with it, but you know what I'm
here,
saying? You understand what I mean, right?
well, I feel as though there is a difference. There is a difference between firing and laid off, and that's why Ryan Clark had to go on the pivot and clarify that he was fired because there's a difference. Because laid off is a way for the company to get out of any accountability for what happened. They can say, "Oh, we had to lay him off. It's a budget cut. It's a layoff. It's this or that. You know, it's a disagreement. It's whatever." When a company comes out and says they fired someone, they have to be accountable for that. They have to have a reason. They have to say, "Hey, we fired him specifically because of this." Because if there was no reason for him to be fired, there's no
Valid,
reason for him to be
valid,
fired.
valid, valid.
So
Totally agree.
so so the company's going to spend that. Oh, we had budget cuts. Oh, we had to lay off people. Oh, this was another part of the layoff. And so Ryan Clark wants it to be clear that no, I'm not going to let this company get rid of their accountability for what the fuck they've done to me. You know what I'm saying? They're going to say that layoff, and everybody's going to be like, "Oh, Ryan Clark's butt hurt. Ryan Clark's upset. Ryan Clark's mad because he ain't got no job." No, because Ryan Clark is a mature, grown-up man that can accept the fact that if ESPN ain't got the money, or if they cutting a show or something like that, he can accept being laid off. What he can't accept is you firing him and then not being accountable for firing him, and then this also tells me that the firing is not legit. This tells me that Disney, ESPN, all the people with the powers that be on some bullshit, because if I fire a motherfucker, I can be able to say, "Hey, I fired him," and I can be able to stand on business and say why. So to call it a
Right, right,
layoff,
right, right,
to call it a
right, right,
layoff
right.
is some spin shit. It's some spin shit. It's some corporate bullshit. And Ryan Clark ain't having that, man. And good for him for being man enough to say, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I don't give a fuck about Disney. These motherfuckers was on some bullshit." You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I just in my speaking at the time, the choice of words, either I just want I ended it saying either way, you lost your job. But you're totally right as far as corporate and the spin job and the spin game. Of course, laid off makes it look like, they're trying to just massage it over you, or AKA pull the wool over everybody's eyes. But TJ, what have I been saying week in, week out, week in, week out? And I did it heavily last week. They hate the fact that we all have platforms and everybody has access to information. They hate the
Yeah,
fact that, and I'm so glad that Orion Clark had the pivot because he was able to truly
it's
express.
actually what he's doing. He's pivoting. He's actually
Mhm.
doing what he's doing. And this is probably going to drive more viewers to his content after this. You know what I'm saying? It's going to get his numbers up for sure. And I'm glad like him and his boy got something to fall back on. It's not the end all be all. Plus, he'll get picked up somewhere else. You might see him on NFL Network or one of these stations doing. It's not like he's going to be out of a job forever. You know what I'm saying? He's a very valued opinion in the sports world.
I don't
Um,
see him going to Fox though, unless the bag
You
is
know,
heavy.
nah.
Unless the bag is heavy, heavy,
Maybe
but
heavy.
NBC, NFL Sports, NFL Network, somewhere
you know,
along those lines. He'll get put on that way. It's not the end all be all for him,
you know
so
what?
he'll be fine.
You know what really shocked me was when I watched the pivot and Ryan Clark said that they kept saying to him, he knew something was wrong because ESPN kept saying to him, "You can't do two shows. You can't do two shows. You can't do two shows." And I'm like,
This
how the fuck does that work when I watch Get Up, I watch the morning show Unsportsmanlike, I watch Get Up, and I watch First Take. And I can't tell you how many times somebody was on Unsportsmanlike and was like, "I gotta leave, I gotta head over to Get Up." I can't tell you how many times somebody was gonna get up and was like, "All right, I gotta get ready to go because I'm filming First Take." You know what I mean?
Oh
Right.
yeah,
There's
all the
been
time, all the
thousands and
time.
thousands of times where people have went from Get Up to First Take, from Unsportsmanlike to Get Up and stuff. So for Ryan Clark to say that they kept telling him he couldn't do two shows, I was like, almost everybody that comes on as a guest on Get Up goes to
He
First Take.
couldn't do two shows that weren't under the Disney umbrella. That's what the problem was. You know what I'm saying?
So
That's where they had beef at. I
and then
mean,
um and then it's just like
Yeah, it
I don't
had to be
understand it.
outside of. Yeah, it had to be something that was outside of their control.
No, Get Up is on Get Up is on
No,
ESPN.
no,
no,
Get
but
no. What
his
TJ
pivot,
said, the pivot
was
is
outside
not
of
under
the.
um
It's not
that.
under the
Yeah,
Disney
it's
umbrella.
not the
So
yeah.
yeah,
So
but
yeah, you're valid. Your opinion is like yeah. You can't say I can't do two shows, but yet you get people to do two shows on your network all the time.
almost every
dude,
day.
and
Right,
dude,
right.
during the finals, they were doing the NBA Today. They was doing some other shit, and then they was on with Scott Van Pelt at like midnight. So what do you like?
Yeah,
The
because
same
it's
person
like it's
doing.
it's like It's like the WWE. You can play well in their universe.
Right.
You can
Not
play well
outside
in
it.
their universe.
Not
Right.
outside it. Not outside. Were these layoffs to subsidize Pat McAfee's salary?
Mm.
Hey, listen, listen. That could be a part of it, right? And guess what? I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it because I don't know how you guys feel, what you guys' relationship with ESPN is, but I'm an ESPN fan. I watch them shows. I watch First Take. I watch Unsportsmanlike. I watch Get Up. I watch PTI. I used to watch Around the Horn. ESPN is terrible, dude. ESPN programming sucks. Sports Center
Yep.
sucks. First Take hasn't been. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know we don't like Skip Bayless, but First Take hasn't been good since Skip left. Max was too smart. Shannon was too black. And then they just been pivoting and scrambling. And First Take has not been the same. Around the Horn was the actual decent show that they took off. And PTI, I like Cornhuskers in them, but they're old, dude. They're old. I don't
Right.
like seeing them
So
on TV no more. They look
pause
old.
right there because you asked us a question and you kept running. I just was talking about this on my homies live the other night, where
Real quick, I
ESPN,
gotta
I
run,
like,
guys.
yeah, all good, brother. Hopefully everything is all right.
Yeah.
All right. You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So ESPN to
Oh,
me,
now I don't after he left.
of course not.
Okay. So I'm here holding it down, but I'm gonna just keep going with what I was saying. ESPN stinks. ESPN stinks right now. Their programming stinks right now, and so if they want to spend money on Pat McAfee, that's cool because that's the only show right now that I like.
And good for you. That's not. I've all but stopped with ESPN, and I can tell you, I don't think there was more of an ESPN junkie than me at one time. Like it used to be, the TV never changed from that network, but they've been gone to shit in multiple ways. So what I was trying to describe was, as I said on my homies live the other night, ESPN, like starting from Get Up all the way to the 6 p.m. Sports Center, it's the same content, the same information from every single show. And damn near nobody gives you a different opinion. You hear the same opinions out of just different people's mouths for almost 7 to 8 hours of programming. And the only difference with Pat McAfee is you're getting the same opinions, same topics with cussing.
No,
That's
no.
it. That's I'm sorry. It's not his Saturday is for the boys. MAGA vibe ain't for me. I'm not saying he's MAGA, but that's the vibe that his show gives off to me, and I can't fuck with it. And then again, I used to defend Stephen A. There's no defending Stephen A. no more. You know, I like he himself just makes Sports Center unwatchable. They still get athletes on their shows, but it's just like now you're getting like the guys who played 6 games in the league, shit like you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like I can't do ESPN no more because it's same shit, different toilet. The only time I actually watched it is when I'm at work and I just throw something on the TV and I'll leave on NBA today or NFL today, and then I'm going about my business because there might be a game on or something on that channel. That's about it. I'm not watching the shows like I used to.
I, I enjoy Pat McAfee's show because it's not the same. Like they don't talk. You like you said, it's just cussing, but it's also the whole they don't talk from like analyst perspective. Pat McAfee does not talk from like an analyst perspective. He talks from like his locker room experiences and stuff like that. And the other guys in there, they just kind of feed off Pat, and it doesn't seem analytic. It doesn't seem they don't go into the statistics and all that kind of stuff. They don't analyze. They don't do analytics. They just kind of talk they shit, and it's kind of I don't know. It's refreshing. It's like different from everybody coming in with stats and paperwork and all of this stuff to try to prove their point. These dudes just talk their shit. and it's kind of refreshing to me, and I kind of like it. And it seems like they're having fun. Seems like they like their job, like they're enjoying being in the dome, and they're enjoying having fun. And they bring on guests, and they talk wrestling shit, and I like wrestling shit. And they
No, they
bring
talk
on,
WWE shit. They
well,
don't talk
it's
wrestling.
WWE's wrestling.
No, it's not.
Like
It's a
it,
show about wrestling.
it's wrestling, bro. It
It's a
still
show
is.
about wrestling. And you know what? While we at it, because I gotta ask you about it. What's your thoughts on this WWE radio network now?
Um, I don't, I don't know why. I'm not understanding this now because there's a point where like you're oversaturation. The WWE has tried to oversaturate for years and years and years, and that's not worked. That's not worked. All you've done by oversaturating the public is giving them more shit to complain about. You've made your company worse by giving us too much shit. And now you still want to give us more shit? I don't understand that. People are trying to get away from some of your shit. And you decide to like do some more shit? I'm like that. I don't know how that makes sense. I don't know how that venture is going to make you better. I think that now you're trying to find more material when you're not doing good with the time slots and the material that you have.
So
So
I gotta repeat something that one of the homies said because it was a thought, but I didn't say it. This person said it. They are in the mission once again to try to control the conversation, control the narrative. And Brian, you want to come? I'll send you the link because since we talking about this, if you want to come up and talk about it, if you got time, because he says it, and he's a loyal, busted open listener. I stopped a few years ago. I stopped a few years ago because I recognized I recognized their spin towards solely kissing WWE ass in the way they talk. Excuse me a second. Let me send Brian the link.
I just
Hold on.
listen.
Hold on. Hold on. I'm back. So I recognize this spin, right? Of them controlling them doing the WWE positive talking more than anything. They don't talk wrestling the same as they used to. They don't talk across the board. And where I recognized the pivots was Mark Henry before he worked with AEW. They would talk and kind of be like, well, let's see what they're gonna give us. Let's see, they talked a little bit more about AEW on like a let's see what they'll give us. Let's see what's coming. And then Mark Henry got hired by AEW. Then it became we love AEW. And they dared to be a little bit critical about the WWE, which if you know me with the WWE, to be honest with you, all I ever really, really want from people is, yo, as much as you might like some shit, be open to criticize that same shit because they're not perfect all the fucking time. Straight up and down. It's not perfect all the time. So, but they did that. Then Mark stopped working with AEW and then went back to WWE like very, very quickly after AEW because WWE was kind of trying to absorb some of that AEW energy. You see it in a lot of the talent that they've signed over the past few years. Then they proceeded to, even with Thunder Rosa there, they proceeded to like they shit on most of the other products out there and then started kissing the WWE ass more and more and more. That was my perspective. That's why I stopped listening to them. It was only a matter of time. But now, here's the positive that I gave to this whole situation. I congratulate Dave LaGreca to the utmost. He envisioned having something like this when he first started Busted Open Radio. He would be adamant to the bosses at SiriusXM that a 24-hour wrestling channel will work. It will work. Trust me, believe me, this will work. And he pushed and grinded and pushed and grinded and stayed the course. Now he's got it. And now Busted Open is kind of the flagship show. For now, it's the flagship show. the negative that I gotta say, once again, then only now the narrative is just WWE. And then he needs to be careful because he said in his statement of the change and all that, oh, you're still going to get the same old me and things aren't going to change that, no, things have changed because immediately Thunder Rosa was gone. AEW talent. Thunder Rosa gone. Nick Nemeth, we haven't heard about him getting let go. Why? Because Nick Nemeth is already under the WWE product by way of TNA. What up, Brian?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
We all right. So,
Good.
and so to continue, Nick Nemeth ain't going nowhere because we got another year to probably year and a half before TKO says we own TNA. In fact, we've owned TNA this whole time. We only got it. We maybe have months left, is what I said the other night. So he ain't going nowhere. It's a 24-hour network now of people who consistently wrote for them, and then podcasts that they already controlled. And so to where I say about Dave LaGreca, again, congratulations, you got your dream, you got your wish. But I don't think you wish to just be under one lock and key umbrella. So now I say now he has to watch his step because, yeah, Busted Open was your baby that you created. You helped create and birth this new network. But now he might be one of the ones that could be right out the door because TKO could be like, you know what? We want this person to host that show. We want one of our guys to host that show. It could be for Dave. Hey, Dave, maybe you can be an executive and run this network for us, but we don't want you on your show no more. And that's one of the major problems that I have with it, Brian. Outside of you just shut off. You just shut off a large contingency of professional wrestling fans because you want to control your narrative. You want to control your universe. And in some respects, cool. Everybody wants to control. Hey, Adam Scher tried to control his narrative. But I digress on it because I ain't going to be listening anyway. I already stopped my Sirius subscription 3-4 years ago because I already seen the tides turning. But go ahead, Brian.
First and foremost, good afternoon, gentlemen. I was listening. I'm over here playing some Marvel Rivals, carrying people. But I was, as always, I listen on the weekend whenever y'all are on. First and foremost, congratulations on your New York Knicks. I hope y'all are still partying it up. Lisper, my man, congratulations. I don't know if it was talked about on the show, but salute to you, sir.
It was pop up number 2.
All right, Granddad. Go ahead, Granddad. Get your party on. But no, seriously, you guys know I listen all the time. I was listening to the conversation you guys were having about Ryan Clark, and as I'm sitting here gaming, I got y'all in my ear, and I'm like, okay, this reminds me a lot about what's happening with Busted Open, about how certain shit, and I've been saying this for a while now, certain shit this year I realized things that that I used to love are slowly getting like burnt out and like just taken to the woodshed and coming out like shit nowadays. You know what I mean? And this Busted Open situation definitely hit me hard. And I had a post that I posted on Twitter, and I never, ever post shit on Twitter. I'm not one of those people that sits there and like is all up in the comments, dropping all this drama, right? And I'm going to read to you what I wrote. And this was under the announcement of, Dave's little video that went around, that went viral of him announcing WWE is joining. I said, this is the reason I stopped listening to Busted Open Radio. The constant WWE BS and disrespect that they show to AEW and other wrestling promotions. Change the name to WWE Radio. I'm sorry, Dave. I love you. But whatever happened to for the fans, by the fans, best of luck. It is the most liked tweet under any of the comments in that post. I say that to say this. As somebody who's listened to Busted Open, as a truck driver, when I was going over the road, randomly one day I heard a commercial about a wrestling show on Sirius XM. This was their second year around on Sirius when it was a 2-hour show, Tuesdays and Thursdays, with Doug Mortman and Dave LaGreca. That's how far back I've gone with these guys. Luckily for me, I work in transportation. I'm constantly driving. So I was always happy to have that little bit of pro wrestling talk in my ear. And again, for the fans, by the fans. That was always their motto. I've been there through all the editions of Busted Open. I was there when Mike Riker was there. Dick Eagle, as they call him. I was there with Gabby Laspisa. I was there with the Boogie Woogie Man. I was there through all of those producers on this show. That's how long of a ride I've had with Busted Open. I've been listening to them damn near 13 of their 17 years that they've been around. Practically every single episode. Because as a pro wrestling fan, I love the fact that there is an outlet where we are allowed to talk pro wrestling and it's available to the world through SiriusXM, right? I'm so proud for what Dave LaGreca has done with this company. Now, from being originally 1 hour a week to 2 hours every 2 days of the week to live for 5 to 7 days a week to 24/7. What Dave LaGreca has done for this brand, Busted Open, is fucking phenomenal. Every wrestling fan in the world should be happy to know that there was an outlet for us to go out there and to talk freely about professional wrestling. As someone who just does a wrestling podcast with the UWO, I love the fact that there are outlets for people like us to do what we do and talk about professional wrestling, because Dave has already proven that there is a formula out there for people to make money or to get views or to get whatever type of notoriety they want to, promote professional wrestling. Over the past few years, and Dan, you said it, I could see why 3 years ago you decided to step away from Busted Open. I totally get that. As a fan, for me, you know that I love this product. I enjoyed the fact, again, we can come together and talk about pro wrestling, and you hear people from down south, you hear people from up north, you hear people from the Midwest, you hear everyone's opinion on this show.
And if they even let you in on the call.
Yeah, that too, because we all hear Joe from Bayonne every week, say shout out to Joe from Bayonne, shout out to fucking Young Drake in California, you know what I mean? Like, there's certain callers that you get used to. But it comes a point in time as a company where, like he said, they wanted to level up. And I remember the day they brought Bully Ray on, and I was like, you know something? This could either be great for the business or this could be terrible for the business. Because, again, this is about professional wrestling. It's not about one specific company. Yes, we all can agree, whether we like them or not, WWE is the biggest professional wrestling product in the entire world. So, as they say, rising tides raise all ships. However, you can't sit there and deny another promotion or any other small independent promotion or any international promotion. You're now taking away their exposure that they were getting on the show of Busted Open, and you're not going to allow them to, enjoy that freedom. Again, for the fans, by the fans. And there's a metric that I hear all the time. Oh, AEW fans don't call into the show, or TNA fans don't call into the show, or New Japan fans don't call into the show. To me, that's a flawed statement, because with the responsibility you have as that product, where you're on that national level, and you have the freedom to talk about whatever you guys wanted to talk about for 17 years, now to be bought up or in partnership with WWE, with all due respect, as a fan, that's where I drew the line with this product.
Hey,
and real quick, hold on, real quick, because what people don't realize, which was what you mentioned about, other fans of every time I want to fucking talk, there's some fucking loud noise coming by. But anyway, what they don't realize in radio is there's a person who screens those calls.
Yep.
So the fan who wants to talk AEW, or the fan who, when they were actually positive towards AEW and they allow callers, they had more positive. They had some callers about AEW where
Mm-hmm.
Bully was the only detractor in some respects,
Yes.
because Tony never listened to his, hey, I will come fix your product for free.
Mm-hmm.
Tony never listened to that because why? Tony got it. And what happened? Tony turned that bitch around. Tony and the other experts that he has turned that bitch around. All respect due to Bully, because like him or hate him, most people hate him. The dude knows what the fuck he's talking about. And it's
Yes.
not bullshit. But
Yes.
also, he's a little skewed because his way is the WWE way. And the
Mm-hmm.
WWE way does not work for everybody. It's not everybody's way. It
Yes.
only works for the WWE
Mm-hmm.
and the companies that they buy out to make themselves look like they're playing with everybody else.
Um,
But I digress on that. You just got to understand the radio thing, they control and can shape the narrative to however the fuck
right.
they want. Go ahead, Tyrone.
And
Exactly.
that's what I was going to say. They skew the calls because when you listen to the show, right, they'll be talking some WWE shit, and that's when they'll say, "Callers, call in. Callers, call in." They'll tell you to call in. Now they know that when they're speaking on WWE shit, that all the callers that are calling in are calling in on that topic that they're speaking of at that time. So when you say callers, make sure you call in. When you say, okay, we're going to take some calls, and you're talking WWE content, that's who's calling. It's
Yep.
WWE people. So when they say, oh, AEW fans don't call, you control that narrative. Start an
Mm-hmm.
AEW conversation and then ask for callers to call in on an AEW conversation, and then AEW fans will be calling. Or
Mm-hmm.
you can even say, hey, I want to hear from AEW fans. You can literally say those words. I want to hear from AEW fans, and then you can have AEW fans call in. Or you can say, hey, anybody who likes TNA, give us a call, and you can talk to TNA fans. So when they say AEW fans ain't calling, TNA fans ain't calling, if that's something that you wanted, you could easily
Dude,
make that happen just by
Mm-hmm.
they
saying it.
used they used to have Tony Khan as a regular segment until they burnt that bridge.
Yep.
And that's the only perspective I can take as an outsider. And you listen to them talk, like they burnt that bridge.
Yeah.
So
And,
it helps the WWE escort themselves in easily.
Yeah.
yeah. And trust me, I 1,000% agree with everything both of y'all just said because they're valid points. Like when it comes to control, like I said, controlling the narrative of the conversation, right? When it's a Thursday morning, the day after Dynamite, right? It's literally the night after what we just saw the night before. If this is their psychology in this, business wise, I think I kind of figured it out. For over a year now, every Thursday morning, when it's usually Dave LaGreca and Nick Nemeth, mind you, the run-in joke is Nick Nemeth doesn't watch pro wrestling, but you force him to want to watch it because he has to talk about it. Like that's the gag, right, of the show. And when it comes to how you're going to start the show off, why is it on a Thursday morning, for some random reason, we're talking about a random D-list Hollywood horror film? It always comes down to that. Or what rock band from 1974 do we still go out to see on tour? Like those are the conversations constantly being had at the beginning of every Thursday morning show. Instead of talking about the product that's coming out the night before by the quote unquote number 2 company in the country. Like that's the shit that I always saw. And then, like I said, you stepped away 3 years ago, so you already saw the highlights of it too. I actually sat through it. So I can literally confirm for you that's what they did. You never gave them a fair shot. Or there was always a snide remark made about an AEW wrestler. Or there was Darby Allin won the world title. Let's talk about it for the first 15 minutes of the show, and then we have to move on to this crappy WWE pay-per-view that we're going to that nobody really cares about. You know what I mean?
But
Like
I will
that's
say
been
they
there for a
did it.
bit now.
But that's where the one thing I was slightly opposed, but not fully, is
Mm-hmm.
they did give them the shot
Mm-hmm.
because Tony was there.
Yep,
But
Tony time every
when Tony
Wednesday.
scaled back, part because of the words of Bully Ray,
Yep, and I remember that
you
interview to a
I
T.
You did it to yourselves.
Yeah.
You did it to yourselves. And again, if anybody, you know how I feel about the Dudley Boys. You know how I
Yep.
feel about this greatest
Same.
tag team ever, most
Same.
championships as a tag team ever, the greatest.
Yes.
Maybe he could have been, original stuttering Bubba Ray instead of the bully. You know what I'm saying in that
Well,
moment.
I'll even say this. I actually liked the interview because it did make Tony
Same,
uncomfortable. It made
right?
Tony a little uncomfortable. But at the same time, and this is where I'm with you too when it comes to Bully. Bully gets a shit rap because I guess in real life he is kind of a dickhead. You know what I'm saying? He could be.
Maybe we
However,
don't. I don't know him.
but exactly, I don't know the guy, right? However, what he says does make sense, and that's my kind of perspective on life too. Nice people get what they want. Rude people get what they deserve. I respect that 1,000%. Bully on the show, in addition to all the stuff that's going on, like I said, a lot of people look at Bully like he's one of the main reasons why they hate AEW. Bully never hated AEW. He still to this day will say, if I had $50 in my pocket, even though we know WWE prices are way more than that, but if AEW and WWE are running in my city right now, as big as WWE is, I will always go to an AEW show because it's more fun. Still to this day, this man says that. So I know online the narrative is, oh, Bully hates AEW. No, it's not true. He actually does enjoy the product. He is a critical person.
Very, very critical.
And as a two-time Hall of Famer, as a world champion, he has the right to be critical. However, when you are critical about something that people enjoy, there is a portion of that audience that will lash back at you. It does not matter what industry you are in. It doesn't matter if you are a football player, a basketball player, a computer designer. There's always going to be somebody on the other end of the spectrum that doesn't agree with what you like. And
But
Bully accepts that.
It doesn't help when you're on the payroll, though.
That's exactly where I was going to get to. It doesn't
Go
help.
ahead.
It does not matter because when people look at you, everyone's going to say, hey, yes, you are a two-time WWE Hall of Famer. However, you are also a coach on LFG. That is a WWE product. So in other words, no matter how much you try to hide it, you, sir, are indeed under the WWE payroll. And I say that to say this. When you are under the WWE payroll, your true feelings are no longer allowed to be said because now you are corporate. And that's exactly what happened to Pro Wrestling Nation. They have officially gone corporate, whether they like it or not, because as we know for 17 years, they have opinions on all sides. What are we going to say now when Pro Wrestling Illustrated comes out and Will Ospreay is the #1 pro wrestler in the world?
Well,
what are we going to say when the women's one comes out and Tekla, who's having a great year, is the #1 women's wrestler in the world? What are we going to say when the New Day shows up under new names, new characters at All Out or at All In? Because we all know it's coming. If there's going to be an impact, it's going to be there. There are literally 12 people who just became free on Friday. There's two mystery slots tonight in a 6-man ladder match on AEW. You know what I'm saying? Nikki Storm just re-debuted in Scotland. Joseph Sawyer just went back to Wrestling Revolver. Like, these are big stories in the world of professional wrestling. You now have to avoid because you're working for the biggest company out there. I'm sorry. Again, like you said, congratulations to David LaGreca. You did it. You achieved the highest peak you can achieve in professional wrestling talk radio. You are now with the Juggernaut. Unfortunately, now that you're with the Juggernaut, it's like when a person goes from underground to commercial. You are now commercial. You're going to get commercial critiques for the rest of your life. And you're going to miss out on an audience that was your core audience. Again, all the props to him. I still love Bully. I still love Mark. I love Tommy. I wish Thunder Rosa was still there. I personally love Nick Nemeth. I got so much love for everybody there. Congratulations. Get your bag, boo-boo. However, it's not for me anymore.
Here's my issue, right? This is my main thing, my problem with WWE. I still love them. I'm still going to watch them. I'm a wrestling fan.
Same.
My main problem is this.
Y'all alone. Y'all,
No, I'm
y'all
not
niggas can
scared.
have that.
I can have it. I love to see it. But if you're the fucking big bad wolf, then be the big bad wolf.
Yeah.
Don't say, hey, I'm the big bad wolf. I don't have to stoop to nobody's level. We can continue to do the bullshit that we're doing. We can continue to run our company the same way we've been running it and have the same matches and do whatever we want to do. Even though we know that people's talking shit about our company, even though there's another company that's doing things that we actually have the talent to do. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
WWE has the talent to put on the same kind of matches. WWE has the talent to put on the same kind of show. They're
Mhm.
refusing to do it because
Yeah.
they're saying we don't have to stoop to their level. We don't have to be AEW. We don't have to do anything to beat them. We're the big bad wolf.
Mhm.
Then be the big
Yet,
bad wolf and
yet they
allow.
still do stuff reactionary
Right, that's
because
my
Yeah.
point.
AEW did
Yeah.
something.
You're the big bad wolf, and you're standing on business because you don't want to do what AEW does, even though you have the talent. You don't want to force it because you don't want to look like you're copying them. But at the same time, you don't stand on being the big bad wolf because you do everything in your power to hinder this company. Yeah, okay, WWE. If you really were about wrestling, you really wanted to be wrestling fans, you really wanted the fans to be about it. Yeah, have that 24-hour show, and you
Mhm.
can tell them talk about whatever y'all want. Why do they have to be handicapped for WWE? Why can't they work for you and still say, hey, we work for WWE, but AEW shit is fire? You know what I
because
mean?
it because it don't work that you see Tyrone. This is
Why
I
not?
love
Why
you.
can't it
I
work
love
that way? Why can't it
because
work that way?
I'm gonna describe it to you because the wool is pulled over all the loyalist eyes of WWE TKO now. They believe that they are the end all be all. They have to control the narrative.
Mhm.
They have to control their conversation. Fuck giving them props. We want all the money over here. Why are we going to give attention to somebody else when look at all the shows that we have? And they bought enough companies too, they can make a all AAA show. They probably will now. They
Mhm.
can make a all evolution show. They probably won't. But but
Mhm.
they have enough product that if they even cared about the actual, I say this all the time. I say this all the fucking time. Their mishap and their mistake is they forgot what got us all to the dance.
Mhm.
It wasn't always the promo. It wasn't always the flashy guy. It wasn't the the characters of the new generation era and things like that. Some people it was the characters, but most wrestling fans was brought to their dance because of what was happening inside that squared circle. And they, on a day in, day out basis, even when Vince was there, even though Vince to a point cared enough that he would allow them to try as long as it agreed in his head because it had to be sold to him and his narrative and his creation. But once it was sold, they did it. That's why there's so many moments and stuff within the Attitude Era and the other generations that we could recall to where it's like, damn, we can go back to certain matches and look to like this is why we like and love this company because of this wrestling match. It wasn't this wrestling promo. It wasn't the fact that and I agree with the point of yes, it to a point I agree with the point of the speaking, the talking, it you can talk people into the building. You can talk, but you're talking people into the building to watch the wrestling that we all want to see. And
Dan,
like you said, and you said it, Tyrone, I'm giving you props. You said it, and then you can have it, Brian. They have the potential to put on freaking what's the name Dave Meltzer 5-star 6-star 7-star bangers,
Mhm.
but they don't because all they do nowadays is just generate enough things to give you that moment and that spot in the match and just keep your head hanging on that. Yeah, Brian.
No, I 1,000% agree with you, but you said something that triggered me because controlling the narrative, right? Seems like it's a big thing with WWE right now. And there was something that WWE did recently to control the narrative that pissed me the hell off. Coming up at SummerSlam, right? We have a very big matchup. Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi. WWE decides to put a highlight package highlighting the Hell in a Cell match, how vicious it is, how brutal it is, how devastating it is. There was one match that was so blatantly not used in that promotion. And mind you, they showed the Shawn Michaels Triple H match. They showed the Usos versus New
I
Day
already know
match.
where you're going.
They
I already
showed
know where you're
Triple
going.
H versus The Undertaker. They showed Randy Orton versus The Undertaker. Before I ask the question,
I already know.
is there a match that comes to mind when you talk about the Hell in the Cell that could describe beautifully how vicious and
Guess what?
violent of a match this is?
There's two.
But there was only one that was never shown.
I bet you there was two, because I know I didn't watch what you saw, but there's two. And they're both AEW employees now.
No, it's one person
The
who
Mick
is not
Foley one.
who's Mick Foley.
Because Sasha, well, at the time, Sasha and Bailey's was...
No, that actually made it into the highlight package.
They actually,
actually made it to the highlight package.
Well, it makes sense because Mick Foley has been openly critical about this MAGA company. And I keep reminding people, this MAGA company, Bully has openly criticized that he can no longer stand by that MAGA company.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew where you was going, but I wanted to say two, but you said that the second one they actually showed.
They actually
because
showed
to
a
me,
clip.
Those two are the best two. I don't. You know how I feel about Shawn Michaels. His would be like number three in my book.
Understandable, yeah. It was the first one.
But the Mick Foley falling through the cage spot they ran that shit to death.
That is the definition of Hell in the Cell. Like he just debuted for them recently. And it's like, that's the type of narrative now that WWE is doing. Don't play in my face and don't tell me if you're going to show me the best highlights of Hell in the Cell, you're not going to show me the best highlight of Hell in the Cell. Dude, that will never be duplicated.
And you own the content, so it's okay.
Yes.
You own the content.
You own it.
So what's the narrative though? What's the narrative that we don't need Mick Foley? That we don't care about Mick Foley?
Yes.
That he's done nothing for our company? You know what I mean? But that narrative. But listen, this is the problem. WWE does not. They just simply can't read the room to understand that you think that your fans are that loyal that they're going to disrespect Mick Foley. Like, do you believe that? Like, come on, man. Like, you got to read the room. We're fans of you, and we're still watching, and we're still here. But we're not going to just accept any narrative. You know what I mean? We're not going to see Hell in a Cell highlights and not see that and go, oh, yeah, fuck Mick Foley. Like, no, that's not what type time that wrestling fans are on. And that, I blame the IWC for that because the IWC has been on that type time, bro. A lot of those guys...
I only blame the WWE. It's only their fault.
Listen. Every company has people that go into social medias and go into all of these things, right? And you have people on social media that are literally saying that they're wrestling fans and literally saying fuck Mick Foley. And the WWE sees that.
Send me some of that. I need to see that.
And they see that kind of stuff. And they see that kind of stuff, and they go like, "Oh, these are our fans. These are the people that are loyal to us." And it's like, no. Those are fucked up individuals. Those aren't the people that represent like what real wrestling fandom is. And I don't know where WWE's narrative is that we're that loyal to them that we would say fuck Mick Foley. You know what I mean? Or we would not understand that this dude has done a lot for wrestling and for the business, and real wrestling fans are going to respect that no matter who you are.
Right. To what Brian said, though, but it just to go for what you're saying and what Brian said is like, the real wrestling fans are going to notice that glaring detract or just that glaring mistake of not adding it. The real fans are going to notice and recognize that. They're going to recognize that. But they know that they can do what they want because they got people like y'all who are still going to check. And I don't say that with disrespect to
Mhm.
y'all.
Yeah.
They know that y'all are still going to tune in. So they can literally do whatever the fuck they want because people are still going to go back, which is why I don't want to go too far off the point. But this is why I want to now say congratulations to all you WWE only social media creators,
Hmm.
because now a network like this actually gives you hey, we might have a chance. We've
Hmm.
been chasing this hug for so many years. We might have a shot. We might have a shot. But go ahead, Brian. I'm sorry.
No, 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 you're good. What I was going to say was, into that really quick. I mean, if you look at the Pro Wrestling Nation lineup that's already there, look at the other names that were on that platform. Originally, it was Peter Rosenberg, who, as we all know, works for WWE. Sam Roberts, who already, as we know, works for WWE, and formerly Coach, who formerly worked for WWE. I didn't even know this because this is how long I haven't even been listening to the station. Coach was fired over a month ago. They got rid of him a month ago. And I was like, wait a minute, wait, what? When I found that out, I didn't know that was real. But they gave the show to Tommy and Mark. And it's like, why would you kick off the head of the show when he's the head of the show? And it got me thinking. It was like, all right, well, when it comes to this busting open situation, with all due respect to Dave, and he's a legend when it comes to pro wrestling radio, now that it's WWE radio, good sir, I pray to God you don't get Jeff Jarretted. And Dark Side of the Ring just exposed that story. So, and
Well,
Dave, you're
yeah.
you're a historian. This shit's coming.
That's why I said it earlier. He might get Dixie Carter out the situation. Because
Yeah,
why? Because they want to control that narrative. Now, if you are a real historian, you knew all this information before Dark Side of the Ring.
yeah.
Well,
But but this is I congratulate Dave because
Mm-hmm.
you could say he started this of being the mouthpiece to where we all can have a platform on our own. But
Mm-hmm.
this is why I now further stress all independent creators, be independent creators and start moving your stuff otherwise. Again, if you're chasing the WWE hug and that's all you like talking about, do you. Do you. But I will say this, and I'm gonna say this in the open because I just made this decision right now as talking about it. I am right now, we despite what we have all going on our own, we would be the perfect wrestling podcast right here. I would be willing to come back to bringing the wrestling podcast back. We can't talk WWE. There's a whole station for that now. They don't need our opinions on it, especially I don't need it. I would rather shout, and I'm gonna shout this woman out for another time. Somebody I just found on Instagram. She goes by JJ Loves Wrestling. I just learned about seeing this person's page. I just learned about companies in India that I
Yeah.
had knew nothing about.
It's been going on for a couple months now. Actually, no, a couple of years now.
A long
Yeah.
time. Yeah,
Well, they had Ring the King too, but
XWM.
there's a yeah, the
Right,
X.
but XWM was.
Yep.
I didn't. I got educated on something new because I love wrestling. So I
Mhm.
would rather talk about the others. I would give I keep saying this. I helped somebody start their journey into podcasting and all that stuff. They were getting a lot of love from Ashe Wrestling. I was like, yo, you should focus your content on Ashe and help them grow and grow with them
Mhm.
because you're going to get more love and reaction and stuff from that company giving them spotlight. They talk WWE all the time.
Mhm.
but
And cool. You do your thing. It's a love what you love, like what you like. Chase that hug if you want to. But now there's a whole full station to hear about it from. Why do I now want to go to an independent that's just talking about WWE? Why do I need to go to you other than supporting you as a friend
Mhm.
when there's all this other stuff that could utilize the exposure?
Mhm.
Hey,
But people
Brian.
don't think that open-minded enough. I don't.
But
I'm
based on that, Brian, I got two questions for you. Right. Now, the
okay.
first question is what because I know all this stuff and I can firmly criticize WWE, but do you think there comes to a point where you won't watch it? Because for me, I can't never see myself getting to that point.
When it comes to that point, that's kind of where I am right now with it. It's as Eddie would say, Eddie made a very clear point years ago where when it comes to WWE, and it's not even just him. This is literally the sentiment going around right now that I've seen online with like the creators that I follow and the people who make wrestling content. WWE is at a point now where they don't care about the loyal fans because they will give you the right information minutes later on YouTube, on Twitter, on social media, and it will give you just enough so that way you understand the storylines. They are continuously booking their show for the casual fan. They are dropping storylines for no reason because a casual fan is they're not getting the eyes that minute of the show on a certain topic. So they're completely dropping certain things because they're constantly now trying to see what draws people's attention. They have the main storylines, a la the next 5 years of the Roman bloodline family, that they know us diehards are going to want to follow. But I've come to the realization now where I don't need to commit 2 to 2.5 hours every Monday or Friday or Tuesday to their product because I can go on YouTube anytime I want and get exactly what I need information wise. I can see the exact moment a turn happened, or like with SmackDown alone on YouTube, they post the entire full segment from entrance to when the person leaves and they go into the next segment. So I can get the entire 16-minute promo that Punk and Cody just had. But I no longer have to commit 2 full hours on a Friday night to be in front of my television to watch their product. So must-see wise, it's really not. And the way they're booking some of these Saturday night's main events and pay-per-views they have coming up, I'm at the point now where if I really don't care about something, I don't have the urge to sit in front of my television to watch this pay-per-view because A, it's on demand if I have the ESPN app or VPN with Netflix, for everybody else in the world. Like there's no point in actually being present for that moment with WWE anymore. There's no anything can happen thing. Now it's all right, I know how the story's gonna go. Let me just see how it got there. There's
I've been
no
saying this for
yeah,
at least 5 years. I've been saying this at least 5 years now. You
yeah.
don't have to watch them on a weekly basis because all you got to do is go to TikTok and look at a clip. You got the entire story in a 30-second clip.
Yeah, it's
And
not must see TV anymore. It's in my opinion, it's not must see TV. Even the in ring action, it's like, yeah, most of the stuff now is skippable because it's so formulaic that we're like, all right, like my good friend Matthew, he for 7 months I've been telling him Bailey's leaving. He's a diehard Bailey fan. And he's like, nah, man, Bailey ain't leaving. I went back and showed him the exact promo when Bailey returned. How in the first half of the promo, she's saying goodbye to WWE without saying goodbye. And then all of a sudden, now to get back to this person, all right, now this is the point where this is what I'm going to do the rest of the time that I am here. She's already said her goodbye. Like, he finally said, holy shit, you were right the other day. When Bailey got slammed and he was like, damn, she put Lyra over. You were right. Fuck.
Right. That's the point that got me upset. Bailey's jobbing out for Lyra. That that was just like
I saw it coming a mile away. Why would Bailey come
that's
back, do a split personality, team with a girl, And instead of, Bayley just being Bayley and trying to win a world title before the end of her contract, no, she's teaming with somebody because eventually she's going to put the young girl over. And that's
And that's
literally
doing
what
good
happened.
business.
I saw
That's
that
doing
8 months ago.
That's doing good business as a veteran.
Yeah.
Now,
Who you leave on good terms if you're leaving
Yeah.
and you do the job the right way. There's no problem with that. But with the WWE, like you said, you seen it 8 months ago. You can see it as soon as they started.
Yeah.
You can see, and then
Nick
like you
Aldis
said,
and
like
Gunther.
right, which I was saying again, I don't have to watch the show, but I know it's about to happen. They don't deserve a Nick Aldis. Though a Nick Aldis character, he's built for that product.
Yeah.
He's built for that product. He don't need to be GM. Maybe he got that itch to get back in the ring again. But you know what's going to happen? Danhausen. He's going to do more talking. He's going to, and I'm saying Nick Aldis, he's going to do more talking than wrestling. They got Danhausen. I mentioned Danhausen just now because they don't care about his in-ring. His character and his presence just on camera is good enough. Is good enough to where, yeah, they can preserve his body because his character just got to walk around, curse people, do something funny, say something funny. He's the white Ron Killings right now for them. You know what I'm saying? And he
Yeah.
don't have to wrestle to where he can actually stay healthy for once.
And I
But
know
yet he's a good wrestler.
Tyrone, you have another question, but I want to say this. Danhausen understands WWE. Danhausen is the perfect example of WWE. Get over, make a shit ton of human monies, and you don't got to do shit. That's the perfect example of a WWE superstar. And I know a lot of fans, the gimmick's stupid, the gimmick's dumb. Dude, he sold out Fanatics Fest. He was the first person, not wrestler, person to sell out a meet and greet at FanFest. He's been around for 6 months in WWE. 5 matches. If that's not working smarter, not harder, I don't know what the definition is. But let's probably go ahead. You got something. I'm sorry.
my second question to me, I don't know. I already know where Dan stands. I kind of don't know where I stand because I'm on the fence with it. But I want to ask you, if the WWE offered a sponsorship for the UWO podcast, what are you doing?
I am asking how much Saudi money are we talking? Because I don't want that TKO money. You know what I'm saying? I'll take some of that Saudi money because if they throw a B in front of it, man, listen, I will book you a Baron Corbin run to the world title that you will never forget. Boy, I will make sure Chelsea Green goes on a Roman Reigns type run. All right, I'm making sure Johnny Gargano wakes up. like, can I do it? Yes. Would I want to do it? No. Like, if we're being realistic, no. But if we're talking Saudi money, I mean, to quote $1 Million Man, everybody's got a price. You know what I'm saying? we all get there eventually. I ain't gonna front.
Tyrone knows where I stand, but I would be the one to be like, yo, we need to define these terms and how I can operate. Because if I can't be myself, we can't be ourselves, then I don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I would love the life-changing money.
Yeah.
But at what point does a man have morals and have principles?
Mm-hmm.
And that just goes in general walk of life, period.
Mm-hmm.
Period. I would take WWE money, but WWE would have to allow me to be me.
Mm-hmm.
I will still shout to the fucking high heavens. Give me back good wrestling. And just good wrestling. Just good wrestling.
Yeah. Like, I'll throw something out there to you, Dan. Did you go and watch, and of course I take great pride in this as a member of the UWO podcast because I've been championing this shit forever. Did you go back and watch El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano? Mask versus Mask?
No.
You know how earlier you were talking about they have the capability for a 5-star match?
That was it.
That was it. And it was done in AAA. I was begging for this to happen at WrestleMania. You guys know me from the show. I've been I like it's the running joke with Kyle, and Kyle even said it when the match happened. He goes, "Brian, how the fuck did you know this was that good?" I'm like, I knew it was that good from the jump. It's a stupid gimmick that had a stupid storyline, but surprisingly, they went to Mexico, and it was the greatest thing there since fucking sliced bread. Those people adore fucking Ludwig Kaiser as El Grande Americano. That's where your money was made.
And
And the
But
match
they,
itself, it was
I
fucking
didn't like,
phenomenal.
I didn't like the whole Grande thing because of the. It just
It was
felt
a
like
racist stereotype.
exactly, and
Yeah.
disrespectful slap in the face to the Mexican people. But
and it,
they put on almost like a lucha style match. I know about it. I still haven't watched the full, but I know about it. But they put
Well,
on like it was a lucha style match, and the Kaiser at angle of the Grande Americano, he didn't come off as the douchebaggy like you need to hate, which that was the character. You
yeah.
need to hate me because we are colonizing your shit.
Mhm.
That was the character. I understood that. But also I ain't gotta stand by it. I still don't have to stand behind it or watch it
but
or give it
But
the
but
energy.
but Dan,
and it,
here's the thing. Really quick, Lisper. But here's the thing, right? That was the beauty of the storyline. When I said when they went to
Right.
Mexico,
Right. I understand.
The Mexican people, like you said, they respected the Kaiser one to the point where they were like, "All right, you Americans think we find this offensive, but they actually accepted Kaiser as a
Right.
legit Mexican, and they
Right.
treated him like he was God down there. Like when
But
you
he
see
also went down there speaking Spanish too.
Spanish, yeah, he did it the right
So
way. He showed respect to the culture. Hell, he's banging the freaking AAA announcer now, like getting into fights on the elevators and shit.
and,
You know what I'm saying? Like he went deep, my brother, deep
and
into this role play. But the fans owned this, and they were like, "Look, y'all thought this was stupid. To us, this is fucking greatness. Like this is going to go down as one of the greatest AAA matches of all time." And it's done by two guys pretending to be Mexican. One's an American, one's a German, and they get more love and affection from the fans after that match than anything I have seen at WrestleMania the past 5 years.
but
It
also
and
went from a joke
they
to literally a banger.
and
they use two talents
Mm-hmm.
who can go.
well,
While meanwhile their main roster has a bloated and they have a bloated roster of talent that
Mm-hmm.
can go, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not about the wrestling
and
up
that
here on the main promotion no more. Go ahead, Tyrone.
that's what I got pissed off. I got extremely pissed off about because Chad Gable went down there and put on that match, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he had to come back and he had to be Chad Gable again, right? And I'm like, okay, now they're respecting this guy because Chad Gable's been getting disrespected for years and years and years. And now I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, finally, this guy's going to get some respect. And then he immediately comes back off of that match and goes on the Raw and gets disrespected by fucking Maxine Dupree. Like, what the fuck? I was like, this is ridiculous, bro. You got Otis, Tozawa, and Maxine Dupree coming out and disrespecting Chad Gable right after he put on that match. Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, Chad should have just took his boots off and left right there. Because I was just like, dude, why are you taking that, bro? You just put on that match. You just came back. You can run the whole WWE mid card if you wanted to. And you're accepting what makes you accept that, bro? I thought that was the utmost of disrespect to have somebody like Otis and Tozawa and Maxine fucking come in the ring and be able to talk shit to Chad after that match.
Well,
Like,
it goes with that whole storyline. I was there.
oh,
I
that was
stopped watching.
disgusting.
I stopped watching in the beginning of 2025. I was there for that whole storyline to know, un- understand why they would go and disrespect him
We
because
didn't
of what he put them through as the whole stable that they had and all that. But
we didn't need that.
I understand your point of you let these jokers, why did but again, it goes to the company's writing. They don't give a shit. They
Mm-hmm.
don't give a shit about you who wants to care for he put on this great match, so we got to keep him up here. No, he lost. So you got to keep the story going where he's on a downslide,
And
i.e. like Mercedes. Once she lost one belt, we already knew it was just a matter of time where all the other belts are going down, 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 leading to the point that we're up to now, where she's about to become the women's champion in AEW.
And
Um,
to me,
It's
oh, sorry.
easy story
Careless, man.
writing. It's easy story writing, but we're getting the better wrestling out of what Mercedes and them is doing within that. We're getting the actual wrestling within it to make it make sense. She put on bangers across the whole fucking world
Mm-hmm.
to put people over in each and every company she had a belt at.
Mm-hmm.
She actually elevated others and helped the product, especially as a veteran who was holding championships. But then you go back to this, where we got a guy like a Chad Gable who everybody screamed the Intercontinental title at minimum should have been on him 2, 3 years ago. But what did they do? They went back to the old ways of they don't give a shit about the little guy like that. And they don't give a shit about how he is such a great wrestler. Yeah, you know what they said? Go down to Mexico, take that shit down to Mexico. And if
Mm-hmm.
and it almost comes off as a level of disrespect, but no. Mexico, you're going to get great wrestling out of Mexico. So it was only right for that match to happen down there. For that to happen up here, how dare you steal the show against the people that we want to have up top? How fucking dare you?
That is where I was about to say. This is where I said WWE does not book for their die-hard fans. They book for the casuals. Chad Gable went to Mexico, put on a fucking banger, comes back, like Lisper said, gets disrespected by Maxine and them. This is WWE putting their thumb on us diehards. Another example, I'll bring you back 10 plus years ago. Remember the Dre, as I call it, the Andre Giant Memorial Battle Royal? Remember when Cesaro picks up the Big Show, walks with him like he's a fucking toddler, and dumps him over the top rope? Remember how all of us were so fucking excited? We're like, yes, finally, they're going to do something with him. They did something with him, all right. At his hottest point, he was part of the people. With Mr. I just got slipped that power slap and Dutch Mantel. It's like WWE has this thing where you can go back through history. There's constant times where the fans are behind somebody that are such great in-ring performers. And they have to do this. They literally have to. You don't have to do this. Sami Zayn didn't wait 10 years to win a world championship and then 9 days later lose the belt. Like, why did we do that?
Kofi Kingston, Brian Danielson, Daniel Bryan at the time. Like it took the monster Batista to lay down and be like, listen, motherfucker. It's like damn near.
You have to put him in the match.
Right. Like, listen, motherfucker. Do you not hear this? Do you not hear this?
What?
But again, they don't give a shit. And this stemmed even from Vince. But I will ironically say, not to shift off of whatever you're going to say now, hate him or hate him, because he is a scumbag, he's MAGA, he's all that other shit. But Vince McMahon would correct all the bullshit that's going on right now. But, he don't deserve to be there. I understand that.
What they're doing with Sami Zayn is so crazy, because what they're doing with Sami Zayn is they're allowing Sami Zayn to put on great matches. They're saying, Sammy, go in there and showcase your talent. We're not going to reward you for it, but we want you to showcase your talent because we want you to put on banging matches so that people will still believe that you belong here, even though we're not going to let you have what you want. Because they set him up because they knew that Sammy's talent would make a good match with CM Punk. And they knew that match was going to be a good match. And they knew CM Punk is a good worker. He may not be the greatest wrestler, but he's a good worker. And they put him in with somebody who can get him, who can make that match look spectacular, make CM Punk's comeback look spectacular. And they can say, hey, Sammy, you are good. You deserve to be here, but you ain't getting the shit. You ain't getting it.
Congratulations. Congratulations, you're Dolph Ziggler.
It's the perils of being a good hand, but not being what they want. And that's what's I like, so it's again, I have my stances against the WWE and all that good shit. I have, and I stand firm on it, right?
Mhm.
But I feel bad for those who choose to stay there. To get your bag. Get your bag. And I never be mad at a male or a female, man or woman, who is choosing their route to feed their family. That's how
No.
you choose to feed your family. Cool. If you choose to consist to make the downside minimum at most, because you can go get good catering, good nice food, chill, maybe help out in the background here and there. And I don't and a name that's popping in my head, but I'm not really specifically targeting her. But Natalia, she's a lifer there because she's earned her role there. No matter how much people shit on her,
Mhm.
she has probably put her hands on and guided 90% of the women over there. All right. But
Um,
at some points, it's like I personally say, if you love this, if you love the said craft, if you do you want to display it, or are you just comfortable? And I think most of the people who've been there forever that just are okay with what they got, there's a level of comfort.
what?
And I don't want to spin this conversation too more, because it's like we could have the whole argument against everything AJ Styles said
Mhm.
in recent times. And it's like, but AJ, like, people know you from WWE, but the people who know you knew you from way before and outside of WWE.
Mhm.
But you can have the feelings you have, of course, against towards the company who, again, that's who you ended with. That's probably where you made your most money. You've had success there at the right time, where that medium-sized guy was working, because Vince had no choice but to go along with what Japan was doing. He had no choice. The guy was a draw, is a draw still to this day. If he wanted to go show up in AEW, I'm sure Tony would take him on a one-off and then see what the fuck would happen.
Give
And then
me AJ Styles for 1 year in AEW, please.
get some Bullet Club bangers again
Hey,
and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Freaking Finn Balor, let him go back to being Prince Devitt. It's like, yo, cool, y'all like y'all, but it goes back to, do you love the craft anymore?
I
Do
got a
you
name.
love the craft?
I got a name for you really quick, and the writing's on the wall already with WWE. There is one person, and Lisper, you're gonna pop for this when this happens, because not when this happens. Like, I don't say this in a negative way, but when this happens, there is one name that I know in my heart. The day he gets that statement saying that he is released, he has to go to AEW. The Miz. A guy who loved this business when he was on the real world. Growing up, was a die-hard fan. If you love this business, when that moment comes, if you got a year or two left in you, go test yourself. Because I'll
yeah.
be honest with you. The Miz and Lisper, tell me if I'm wrong. The
Mm.
past year and a half to 2 years of The Miz in the ring, he has improved leaps and bounds. He is doing springboards. He's taking maneuvers that you've never seen The Miz take. He's actually catching people on dives.
The only Before Tyrone
I
goes,
want to see
the
this guy go out there and give us a year. Prove
the
to us that you
only
really are who you say you are.
the only reason why I co-signed that, it might be surprising to some, is because prove it to me that you actually love this. And
That's
it
it.
wasn't that you was somebody who just grew up on the WWF to the E, got your shots, and that's what you love.
Mhm.
Because he's the definition of a lifer to that company.
Yes.
But if you
Yes.
truly
Yes.
love wrestling, I have no issues with seeing that.
And I only say that really quick, Tyrone. I only say that to say this. As we all know, there's a lot of renegotiations going around. A 20 plus year veteran like The Miz, you think he's going to take a pay cut?
No,
And
but
him versus MJF would be immediate.
here, here's my only issue with the Miz is that the Miz went to the WWE, and fortunately for him, the WWE has been very, very, very good to the Miz.
Mm-hmm.
Very good to the Miz. He is the one superstar that I can say they've been good, really good to him. They gave
Mm-hmm.
him everything he deserved. They gave
Yep.
him he's a double Grand Slam champion. He's had the tag team champions. He's brought other people up. He was able to put whoever over he wanted to put over. He's
Mm-hmm.
got side shows, hosting jobs, all
Mm-hmm.
kinds of shit. SBs, all kinds of shit.
Mm-hmm.
WWE has made the Miz the superstar that he's always wanted to be. And
American Gladiators.
I just feel like because of the things that I've seen in the recent years that the Miz has been willing to do and willing
Mm-hmm.
to accept under that WWE umbrella, that I feel like when it's his time to go, I don't think that because of the person that he is and because of the loyalty that he's had to this company and because of everything that they provided for him and done for him, and he's met Mary Reeves there and his family's from there, I
Mm-hmm.
just don't see him morally being able to like go to AEW. I think that would be a moral conflict for him to do it. I would love to do it, and I see your point, but I think morally, Miz, he can't be bitter from WWE. He can't be one of those dudes that's going to
No.
talk shit about him afterwards.
No.
So I feel like morally, he just wouldn't be able to do that. I don't think.
And
And
I'm
I
not.
totally agree.
Oh, and
But
I was gonna say, it's not about like being disloyal to WWE. It's about, all right, now you are free. If you choose, you could still work for WWE if you want to, but do you got that little thing inside of you that says, what if? What if? Like, you know how we always talk about certain wrestlers don't feel like they're respected in the business? And trust me, as you listed off all the Miz's accolades, he is a first ballot Hall of Famer without a doubt, in my opinion. Whether it's WWE or quote unquote pro wrestling in general, what he has achieved, he is a first ballot Hall of Famer. As a matter of fact, you remember the list we were working on of the 20 greatest wrestlers? Miz does 2 years in AEW. He gets on that list. Dan, am I wrong?
depending on how they write him and what they do
No,
with
no,
him,
no.
If
So
he might be
he's
able.
doing,
wait,
if he
But
pulls up and he goes one on one with, all right, I'll give you a list of guys. Here's a list of guys, right? If he
No, no,
goes
no.
in the
I
ring,
would actually. You don't even. I want you to give your list, but I will even keep it shorter like this. I don't want to see him just go to AEW. I want to see him tour and go to other places
that too,
that's
that too.
not WWE sponsored, whatever, whatever. Like, show me that you actually love what you
no,
did more than loving being within the WWE system.
Hmm.
Then we can possibly talk.
no.
Yeah, because like we said when we were doing the criteria thing, that list of matches, right? When it comes to like what are those key matches? Miz has great work. Like he has a great body of work as is. But if you throw him in that promo battle with MJF, you get him in the ring with Max, that would be amazing. You want to test his toughness, you don't put him in the ring with Dean Ambrose, you put him in the ring with John Moxley. This Moxley. Are you really that good of a wrestler that you can keep up with a Zack Sabre Jr. or a Will Ospreay? If he's still around, a Kenny Omega?
And
You put
ZSG will
those
slow it
matches,
down enough for him.
So
if you put those matches on your belt, that's that little bit of a bump that puts you back on that top 20 of all time list.
but or I think that if Miz really wanted to do something like that, if Miz really wanted to say, hey, before I go out, I want to prove myself or whatever the case may be,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he would do AEW or any of that stuff. I think what Miz would do is Miz would go to WWE and say, hey, this is my last year. I want to do what John Cena did. I want to go on a final tour and I want to put on bangers throughout and go out like that. And I think he would do that. I think he would do that. I think he would tell WWE, I'm going on a retirement tour. And he
Mm-hmm.
would go to do what John Cena did. Just go and say, listen, I'm going to fight everybody that I want to fight on my last year out and put on some banger matches and then get retired by like a Oba or something and go out like that. I think that would be the route that he probably would go, even if he wanted to prove himself, something like that. I think he would just take on Roman and Seth and Sami Zayn and CM Punk and then go out to somebody like maybe Braun Breaker or Oba at the end. I think he would rather do that than leave.
I agree. And I actually see that more than the alternative to what we talked about. But if done that way, it still keeps them off my list because I only got to see you play in one world.
And
One
and and
world.
and
One world.
that's why I threw this out there, because let's be honest, we'll use a guy like Bryan Danielson, right? The entire time in WWE, Miz and Danielson were always that bar for each other. Literally from the day Bryan came in, Miz was his stopgap. And like I said, when it comes to a
Though
fan
he
like,
was light years better than him, regardless.
and that's where I'm going, and I'll use a fan like Dan, right? We can all agree if Bryan's career ended in WWE, he would still go down as one of the greatest of all time. Now, you add that little 2-year bump with AEW in ring, where he got that Kenny Omega match that we all wanted to see, where he finally closed the door with him and Nigel, which again, I'm still pissed off about, where you got to see him with young guys like Swerve Strickland and elevate them. Guys like Will Ospreay, who everyone's considering the next guy of the generation. Guys like a Zack Sabre Jr., one of the best technical wrestlers that were out there while he was in WWE. We got to see those as a fan, dream matches. And just that alone, just those couple of matches that I named, is a Hall of Fame career for Bryan Danielson. Now, again, I'm not knocking The Miz. You already know how I stand with you on The Miz. I love Miz. But when we start having these overall conversations, that little bit of Miz deciding, you know what? These are for me now. I made my money for my family. My family's good for the next generation or two. I got the name. I got the fame. But for me, as a wrestler, this is something that I want to do. You get what I mean? Not
Right.
like he has to prove it to anybody else, but I would love to see that out of somebody like him.
Dude, AKA, I love the shit. I love it's like a you know what? Stephon Marbury, my time is up in the NBA, but I'm not done playing. What did he
Mm-hmm.
do? He
He
went to
went to
China,
China.
became a fucking god in China. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
if there's an example that equals it, there's that. And
Yeah.
yeah, I respect the Miz, but again, as a talent, even compared to some of the people that they don't let get off in the WWE,
Mm-hmm.
he's still not better than them. But for what their product was, he was a perfect role model. He was a perfect student for that.
Yep.
He was the great hand that company needed as
Mm-hmm.
long as he's been there. Why? His versatility. He can not go in the ring and just talk on a microphone for you, or he can give you a WWE style match that is go in there, go do just enough to carry on a storyline. He did that. But like you just said, show me that you love this and try this elsewhere. And then help, and then shit. You want to prove, you want to help other people to who are the casuals or non-casuals that really love this shit and really know
Well,
what goes down inside that ring. Go out there, try the world, and show the people, hey, the WWE style is that way, is what works, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Brock Lesnar did it.
Mm-hmm.
but wait.
But Brock Lesnar was a character and such a monster that no matter where he goes, it works.
But I gotta say this too. I think Miz gets a bad rap a little bit because he wrestles to his competition, and so a lot of his matches we didn't see the Miz be great because it wasn't his potential. Because I've
Exactly.
seen Miz, because when Miz got in them was doing that program with Dolph Ziggler, you couldn't tell me there was a better wrestler than Miz and Dolph when they had that.
Not
Program.
at all. Not at all.
You
They
know what I
stole
mean?
it, literally stole the
You know
show
what I'm
every
saying?
night.
But
So
that
it's like,
company was weak as hell when they would.
but it's like
If those two are your top, I'm sorry, those two are your top dogs. Your company is not that strong
no,
at that
not
time.
they weren't two of the top dogs. I'm saying the matches. The matches that Dolph and Miz had during that program was top notch matches
Yeah.
that you can put against any other match that WWE had during that time frame. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I know
When they were the
Miz
only
can.
thing smoking, I get it.
Yeah.
So I feel like Miz can get in the ring with anybody for real.
Mhm.
I just feel like he plays to whoever he's in the ring with. Yeah, when he was in the ring with Cena, yeah, those matches aren't going to be great because Cena's not great. You know what I mean? So it's like, but when you put Miz in there with technical guys, Miz can get down with technical guys. I've seen him. He just recently wrestled Penta not that long ago,
Mhm.
and it was a good match. Like Miz was in there with Penta. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, but
Miz, I think, just plays to whatever he's given to play to.
Yeah, and and
yeah,
and not to deter all of this, and kind of to bring it back to the whole busted open conversation. These aren't conversations they can no longer have on that network. It's like, God forbid something like this was to happen. They can't talk about it now. The day Pamela decides to show up in AEW,
Listen,
because it's going to happen, they can't talk about this. You guys
oh,
are now limited when it comes to this stuff.
yep.
when I
When
when
when,
I
when
asked you that question, Brian,
It
when I asked you
becomes
that
she's
question
dead to you.
about WWE sponsoring the show, and Dan made a valid point that he wants to know if he can still be himself because he has to be himself. Me, I already know what's going to happen with me. I'm not on the fence about it. I will sell the fuck out immediately, right? But I
We
also
know that.
know. But I also know. I also know that within the first 2 years, I'm fired. I'm
yeah,
guaranteed to get fucking fired. And I'm fine with that. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to be me. And me, WWE ain't going to like. So yeah,
yeah.
I'm going to sell the fuck out. I'm going to tell them everything they want to hear. But within 2 years of my show, I'm cashing out. Because I will be fired. For sure.
Mhm.
Fired. You
Yeah,
know
no,
what I mean?
a thousand again. I want that Saudi money. If I'm gonna do it, at least pay me for it. Because for the time that I'm here, I will make sure that fucking Danhausen wins every title in the company.
Yo,
And then
hey,
the moment y'all cut me loose, I'm taking what I got and I'm going to Thailand.
what's that thing?
I'm gone.
What's that thing, Brian? I'm here for a good time, not a
A
long
long
time.
time. Yep, yep, for real.
Well,
Like,
we ended up being here for a long time and a good time with this wrestling conversation. We got to get to the ball, LeBall James, as I named it.
I kind of like the fact that I joined in for this topic too. So yeah, I'm
It's
all
all
for
good.
it.
Uh, I don't see again, Knicks fan, recent champion, all that good stuff. But y'all know me, realist. I don't see where the Philadelphia 76ers are not the favorite in the East. Even being a Knicks fan, I am not going to be one of these delusional Knicks fans who say we didn't get better. We didn't get 100% better in the offseason. We kind of stayed the course with what was done so far. We didn't really dip too far off. And yes, we're still the current champions. But you put that level of basketball IQ with probably the highest IQ person in the league, who is one of the best players, was the better of the Jays in Boston, along with a young Tyrese Maxey, who he needs a player coach like a LeBron on the court to possibly, slow him down but slow him down to understand this is where you turn it up. This is where, this is the positions I need you in. This is where you cut. You're not going to be able to hog the ball all the time. And with a move like getting LeBron, resting Joel Embiid might not look as bad on these 76ers. Now, I will say, like TJ and them said in our group chat, it's about their bench. And I don't think that their bench is rounded out as good as our Knicks bench. But I'm sorry, a 40-plus-year-old LeBron James is still valid enough to put a team in a championship conversation, Tyrone.
Oh, I'm not saying the Sixers are not in a championship conversation. They was in the championship conversation before LeBron. Because I'm saying if you put Maxey and Brown and a healthy Embiid and Edgecombe, they're title contenders right now. Without LeBron, they're title contenders. So LeBron definitely puts them in a championship conversation, but it's all up in the air because my problem with the Sixers is I don't know if the Giants going to work. I don't know if the Giants going to work because a healthy Embiid, everybody says, oh, if Embiid stays healthy. Healthy Embiid is a black hole. Healthy Embiid impairs the Sixers offense. Healthy Embiid is a guy that wants the ball down low, and once he gets the ball down low, it kind of stays there. He stagnates the offense. He slows them down. Now, if you can say that LeBron can go in there and say, hey, Embiid, we can't do that, then LeBron can go in there and say, hey, we got to keep the offensive movement. If LeBron can go in there and say, hey, we're not going to work through Embiid. We're going to work through movement and all that stuff. If LeBron can have enough props to do that, then that's good. But the Sixers operate. Joel Embiid is the black hole. Maxey is the guy that creates his own shot. And Edgecombe and all the other guys are guys that just get what they can get. Now with Jaylen Brown wanting the ball, with Maxey wanting the ball, with Embiid being the black hole, I don't know if LeBron can gel that all together. I don't know if there's enough balls in Philadelphia for it to work. So I gotta see it first, because on paper it looks great. In my head it looks great. In my mind and everything is telling me that they're championship contenders. But the way they play basketball tells me that that this is a problem. This is a problem a little bit.
All right, so while Dan is fixing his audio real quick, as the resident Celtics fan here, I want to say congratulations, Philadelphia. You guys just won a championship. And make sure you send Brad Stevens a cake, because we handed over in our own division a former MVP candidate who just last year was playing the best basketball of his life. A guy who is a couple years removed from being the Eastern Conference MVP, an NBA Finals MVP, an NBA champion, Jaylen Brown. Now, as you guys know, I've been saying this multiple times on social media. They traded the wrong J. You traded the wrong J. I will say it one more time since Dan is now back. They traded the wrong J.
I heard all three of them.
Oh, good. I just want to make sure. If you didn't get
My
it,
phone was overheating again. My phone was
would've
overheating again.
I would have texted you, because this is a hot take. Because they traded the wrong J. All right? I want to say this again. It to me, as a Celtics fan, I like, first off, again, congrats to the Knicks. You guys were an enjoyable team to watch, and I was pulling for y'all the entire way when the playoffs started, after my Celtics, choked this entire series away from Philly. What I see in Philly right now is very scary. And to me, I know everyone's talking about, Brown coming in and what's he going to bring to the team, and LeBron coming in, what's he going to bring to the team. My biggest concern is Embiid. Because, like Dan said earlier, Tyrese Maxey, I actually love his game. I think the guy is incredible. Still young, really talented brother, can give you 30 whenever you want it. You know what I'm saying? And he's still young enough that he may need that veteran presence. Etchkum, top rookie last year. Kid played over his head in the regular season and the playoffs. It got a little shaky when it came to New York, but I give New York props about that. Still moldable. Now, when it comes to Joel Embiid, he's been there the longest. The team is centered around him. I don't think he wants that veteran presence around like a LeBron or a Jaylen Brown. But however, he's not there enough, in my opinion, that right now, with the way this team has just been constructed, with the new general manager that came in and made these moves, to me, Embiid is the one that's going to need to adapt. Because I'll be honest with you, their style of play, even though, like you guys were saying, it runs through Embiid, it's effective, but it's not sustainable when you're not able to play. The best ability is availability. You know what I'm saying? And the dude's always hurt. Something always comes up. Luckily, whatever happened right before the playoffs, he was able to take care of that, had it removed, whatever. Hopefully he's doing great. But to have a LeBron on your team right now with this much experience, and let's be honest, he's chasing one before he goes, let alone maybe try to get two. And with this team that he has around him, Jaylen Brown is, as much as he was talking about, oh, this is my best year, blah, 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 he works better when there's an adult in the room. As good of a player as he is, he works better when there was that Al Horford there, when there was that Kristaps Porzingis there. Even when Kyrie was here, he works well when he has that thumb on him to hold him down. But he also has enough experience where he can bring an Etchkum and teach him how to play better defense. Even though the kid played his ass off this year, he can only get better. A guy like Tyrese Maxey, who's a decent defender, could step it up with a guy like Jaylen Brown on the floor, because you saw what he did this past year with a Derek White, a Ninis Keita, with Sam Hauser, everyone defensively, even Baylor Shireman, Jordan Walsh for a little bit. he forced them to play defense. That's one thing about Jaylen Brown that this Philadelphia team is going to love. He will sacrifice his offense to play better defense. He is going to force them two young brothers to D up on every possession. When it comes to LeBron, LeBron has all of the experience in his 20 plus years in this league. Championship winner, been to the finals, like 9-10 times now in his career. They have something very dangerous there. And to me, it's gonna be Embiid. Is Embiid gonna agree to work with them, or is he gonna be stubborn to say this is still my team? I don't give a damn who you are, this is my team. That to me will determine how far Philly goes, because on paper, I don't see a single team with the starting five that's going to compete with them. And the bench, all about rotations. Who's going to be, because all five of those guys are not going to be on the court at the same time. Who are they going to put in there with Maxey and Ekstrom? Who's going to be on the floor when Jalen needs to go off? Who's going to be LeBron's go-to guys that he can rely on when he's, shit starts going bad? Can Embiid stay healthy? That, to me, is my biggest concern. Because on paper, congratulations, y'all won a title.
And that's everything. I've been, again, Knicks fan, but I've been a Joel Embiid guy since he's been in the league. And if JP was here, he can certify that. And I've always said with him, if that dude knew how to play the center position like a true center or like an old school center, there's nobody better than him. There's nobody. I mean, and
Maybe
I'm
Jokic.
I'm even talking Jokic. I'm even talking Jokic because he's way more athletic. He's quicker than Jokic. He's faster than him. But Jokic is just the smarts, the level of play IQ he plays with is way higher than Embiid's.
Yeah.
But if Embiid remembered, he's a fucking center. He could dominate this league like none other. And I still stand by that. But health is his main detractor in all of this. His health is his main downfall in all this. But this is why I say, with an acquisition like LeBron, his minutes off the floor could result to where it's not that big of a loss for them, which would be the beneficial thing for them. It would be the beneficial thing. The whole black hole statement that you made, I was just like in my head, I was thinking about you and your Lakers and like, but Shaq really wasn't a black hole. He could be. He could be, but he wasn't a black hole. Other great centers, they're not really black holes, but also most of the great centers from our era, you put the ball in their hands, they knew exactly what the fuck to do with it. There was a difference. You know what I'm saying? And to be able to have, again, two huge IQ players on the same team in Jaylen Brown and LeBron James, this can help shape the mental. Because if there was anything that my Knicks taught the world, it was that mental state got us over fucking everything. You couldn't crack us here. You couldn't crack us up here. And we remembered it's team game to where if one person was off, somebody else filled them shoes. Like Jamal, if he was here, how many times people were saying, God damn it. Every time he hit a shot, it was like, God damn it.
Landry Shamet cost me so much fucking money on underdog this goddamn playoff run, son.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just talking like as far as like it's going to be about Embiid's health, Philly's bench, because their star five is phenomenal. Like you said, on paper, all world. But it's going to be about that bench and will Embiid stay healthy.
And like you said, Dan, Shaq wasn't the black hole. And Shaq wasn't the black hole because Shaq was decisive. Shaq, when he got the ball down low, it was 2 steps to the basket, dunk, whatever. And if I didn't have it, I kick it back out to Kobe or Fisher or whoever. There was a decision made before he got the ball. He was very decisive. Right. And Embiid's not that. Embiid's a guy who gets the ball in the paint and doesn't seem like he knows what to do. Like he's making decisions after he gets the ball. He's not decisive, and he kind of held the ball too long. That's why he led the league in turnovers. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm saying that maybe if LeBron can say, hey, listen, bro, this is how we're going to play. You get the ball, you make that move to the basket. If you don't have it, you've got guys around you that'll move. And because the Sixers usually stop, they get stagnant. So LeBron's got to be that guy that says, "Hey, when we get the ball inside to Embiid, we got a couple of seconds. Keep moving because he may not have it, and he may
Mm-hmm.
and
need to kick
that's
it back out."
and
You know what I
that's
mean?
Mm-hmm.
going to be the big difference, Tyrone. And what you just said, that can be the big difference to help change his game, so he can be the fucking monster that
Right.
dude is.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why I don't hate the Sixers. I never did. I never did. Joel Embiid should be the best center in this fucking league. Fuck Wemby, fuck Jokic, and I don't say that in malice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just stating like this dude should be. We should be talking about him amongst the fucking greats by now.
I
But the rest of the team surrounding him in his years has not been that. And then it falls back to that whole nonsense of being the guy on the team. When you try to act like you have to be the guy on the team, the end all be all, that's when the spotlight is on you heavy. And people like him had made tons of mistakes over the years to where, yes, we can have these criticisms of he can look like a black hole. He doesn't look like he makes the right decisions around him. Now you're going to have a crew, at least for 2 years, because LeBron's gave up 2 years. He's given 2 years, 8 million,
That's crazy.
which again, that's just I'm not chasing the bag because he got the bag already.
That's a
mm-hmm.
ring chase.
Yeah, it's
So
a ring
now,
chase.
so now we can
Which
admit
is
it's a
what's the
ring chase,
problem with
right?
ring chase? There's
It ain't
Nothing.
no
nothing wrong with
problem.
it.
Nothing.
It's not nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying that all of the, when I said that LeBron was going to be ring chasing his last 2 years, I commend him for it. I said that's something he
Mm-hmm.
should do.
Yeah.
Your last two
Right.
years, you don't want to play for nothing. You want to play for championships. So I'm not mad at him ring chasing, but all of the LeBron fans came off that, oh, he ain't ring chasing, he ain't ring chasing. I'm like,
Yeah.
he sure is. 100%. And I'm
And
not
that's
mad at it
okay.
or mad about it, bro. That's what you do.
My man
Like,
has
what?
played like 22 plus years in this league. If he wants to go out on his own terms, go right ahead. I know he's still chasing Jeffrey, but
But
who
But
cares about
even
the rings?
still,
To me,
but
it's like
even
it's not even about the rings with him anymore. It's like, yo, you are going to go down in history as one of the most dominant longevity players in history.
Brian,
Why not go and chase the ring?
here's my
Get a
only
couple
issue.
more. Fuck it.
Here's my only issue though.
Hmm.
If LeBron, if those 2 years go and he does not win a championship with the Sixers in those 2 years on that team,
Hmm.
does that taint his legacy? Does
No,
that
not
taint
at
him?
no,
all. Not at all.
not at
Because I
all.
guarantee you they will be a top contender in the East. They'll be a top seed in the East for the next 2 years, in my opinion.
Right.
If everything goes quote unquote the right way with this team, yeah, no, he can go out and still say, hey, I contributed on a high level for these 4 or 5 teams. I always made sure they were in contention, brought them all to the playoffs. Probably, and he won a ring with everywhere he's gone so far. That's why I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that with this lineup that he has, there is a possibility in the next a 50-50 chance for the next 2 years, LeBron could win a ring. And
It's
you know
70-30.
something? I'm okay with that. And I'm not
It's,
going to be one of those people who hold that against him. Go for it.
it's 70-30 with that team. It ain't 50-50.
Yeah, and really quick, I want to go back to what Dan was just saying about Embiid being that guy, right? And this is a problem that I've always had with the NBA over the past couple of years. And I wish the boy's girlfriend wasn't here because he would come in here and tell you. During the finals, he was going for the Spurs because he loves Wemby. He loves the big 7-foot alien, blah, blah, blah. I told him, I said, dude, he doesn't go in the paint. You are 7'4". Get your ass in the paint. Dan, you watched all of
On
those
def
games.
on defense he does, but on offense, I got the one thing I said we did. The dude plays around the 3-point line. Am I wrong, Tyrone? This is what I've been saying.
Oh,
He plays around the 3-point line. He's
mm-hmm.
a threat because it takes him 2 steps to get to the rim.
Yep.
He's a threat there because of that. But if you keep him around away from the block, away from the blocks on offense,
Mm-hmm.
you always have a chance. And we did that a lot. We did that a lot. But back to the LeBron thing again, to tie it to something we talked about with the Miz
Mm-hmm.
and the whole 8 mil when Tyrone was like, oh, man, like on some like, I can't believe he took that little.
Mm-hmm.
This is the difference between do you love what you do
Mm-hmm.
or are you just in it for the bag? James
Yeah.
Harden showed us
He's in it for the bag.
Bag chaser. Bag chaser. You taking 8 mil, and then like Brian just said, even if the Sixers don't win in these next 2 years, which I can very well see happening, even if they don't win within these next 2 years, if you help that team elevate enough to
No.
keep yourself up to a certain point, now you understand. Now this is where the executives come in. You got to now understand what as an organization. Okay, this is the type of caliber, or this is the type of athlete. We'll never get somebody the caliber of LeBron James again, but this is the types of pieces that we need to fill out our roster. And I'll say it again, just to Barry Horowitz, my Knicks. We showed the league. We gave the league how to do it. You can have that guy. You can have that. Jalen Brunson did not have to play like he was the number one guy. He did that in the closeout because he said, fuck that. I'm not letting this shit go no further. But every piece of the team played their role to a T to lead a team to a championship. And that's what you need. You can have that all-world name, but you still need a complete team.
But this is not a love what you do situation. This is not a love what you do situation, because if this was a love what you do situation, LeBron could have loved what he did and he could have stayed in LA and made more money. LA could have offered him more than that.
And you would have hated him more.
Hold on. He could have stayed in LA. He could have stayed in LA and made that money and still played basketball. So let's not act like he's going to the Sixers because he loves what he do and he took that pay cut because he loves what he do. Yo, like stop putting all the narratives on it. This is LeBron in his last 2 years ring chasing, point blank, period. Yeah, he loves basketball. He still wants to play, but he's saying, if I'm still going to play, I'm playing. I want to get these rings. It ain't a love what you do, because he could have loved what he did in LA.
And I would,
but you have to love what you do if you're going to spend 23, 24, 25, almost 25 fucking years
No,
in the
I'm not
league.
saying that.
You don't do it because you don't love it.
I'm saying that that's
I'm not putting
him going to the
I'm
Sixers
not putting
ain't love what you do.
I didn't put the whole emphasis on that though. I just use it as a descriptor of, for you to take 8 million, a guy who can go to any team and probably still command 50 million a season, because he's bringing you more than just the basketball. He has the cachet built that he's bringing you more. Look what did he do with Cleveland when he got there? The whole town's economy spiked. He left, the town's economy fucking tanked. Came back, the town's economy spiked again. Left again, town's economy tanked again. He's way bigger than just the game.
Okay, but would he have went to the Utah Jazz for 8 million? No.
Oh, probably not. But
no,
Philly,
so it ain't love what you do.
and your city is black as hell too. Let's compare. Let's compare the difference. Like, your city's black as hell, and as we said before, you earn the right to call your shot. Nigga, I ain't going to fuck. Oh, shout out to Jared. Only he's in Utah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. I mean, it is what it is. But salute to him. Congrats to his decision making and all of that. And at least we didn't have to. I salute to him, man, because I'm sorry. He's the best. He's the best ever.
I'll say this when it comes to LeBron, right? And to me, it's like a storyline. LeBron's entire career, he's chasing the GOAT. This man is going to go down on his shield trying to chase the GOAT. Yeah. When it comes to his accolades and all that stuff, he has everything. LeBron has everything out there to prove that he is the GOAT. These last 2 years are the last few inches he's going to crawl to get to Michael Jordan. And you know something? Even if he gets 5 or if he does get 6, it's going to be his claws saying, I'm here. Again, it's up to people's decision on who you really think is the GOAT. If it's him, Kareem, if it's Kobe, if it's Jordan. Like, you can have any name you throw out there, but LeBron is like, I am going to make myself known as the king one way or another. And
Hey,
going for these last two, I respect that more than going for 50 million in Utah.
you know what? Y'all not gonna like this, but let him win one in Philly. My Philadelphia Eagles showed you how you get treated.
Yo,
It's
yo.
like
First of all,
Philadelphia. You
first
know
of
what I'm
all,
saying?
hey Brian,
But hold on, but no, but uh, legacy defining though is I mean it puts a cap on the end of because what did he do? He brought a team in Cleveland that never had a championship. He brought them a championship. He brought Miami, never had championships, brought them championships.
No,
Went to
Dwayne Wade got
LA.
one. Dwayne Wade
Oh
got
yeah,
one
you're right.
before.
But still added to their legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Added on to their legacy. Went to LA, won one, whether you count it or not. You
he
go
had
to a
no great
city,
legs.
going to a city like Philadelphia is like the New York Knicks winning the fucking championship.
Yeah,
He had the
and the
worst
Knicks
They
already
legs.
did it.
haven't won. They haven't won since the '80s. So now it's like, well, we did it. The Knicks did it. You're up.
LeBron,
And to do it in a city like Philadelphia, it would be
Huge.
it's a legacy capper.
number one, LeBron had the worst 8-year run of any superstar in Laker history. I just want to point that out. And number two, this is a big number two. Brian, I do not like Dan's level of fandom at all because, first of all, LeBron left the West to come to the East. He went to a team specifically to dethrone your New York champion Knicks.
Mhm.
And you're sitting up here going salute to him. I would have said fuck LeBron. That's disrespect. Like he's coming to the East. He's coming to dethrone your New York City Knicks, and you're like win one in Philly. Salute to LeBron. What kind of fan are you?
I am a
I
see.
hope
This is my
LeBron
thing.
cares. If LeBron came back to the West, I will. I'm gonna say this. Tear that Achilles and go ahead on out and retire, bro. I don't want him in the West. I don't want him contending with my Lakers.
See,
And he
I'm
came there
saying
specifically to dethrone the Knicks. And you're
I'm-
salute to LeBron.
well,
because
What
listen.
kind
listen,
of
because listen. Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead, because
But I was gonna say this
I got.
because again, I hang my head in shame because of this. Brad Stevens was already trying to hand Philadelphia a ring. Now LeBron's
Right.
there. It's like, as a Celtics fan, I'm like, fuck this season as is. I don't give two shits. Again, you traded the wrong Jay. Like Dan was saying earlier, you can have the flashy guy, a la the guy who wants to be like Kobe on your team, but it took the mentally strong guy that I said is trying to play like a Jordan, and that guy will be the reason why you win. A la the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, a la the NBA Finals MVP. It wasn't that, Jay. It's the one that Philly just got. And as a Celtics fan, it pisses me the fuck off. So you know something? Out of spite for 1 year to show my discomfort what the Celtics did,
Oh man.
I'm not going to be a Philly fan, but I'm not going to boo these motherfuckers either because they got my boy. They got my boy.
And
And they did this again for no fucking reason. For no
Ooh.
fucking reason.
see,
I
so
just want to
here's
reiterate
the
that.
thing.
This
So
was
listen.
bullshit from the jump. Like I said, if it wasn't for Giannis, and what did I say when they were talking about trading him for Giannis, Dan? What did I say? I don't want this. There is no reason to trade this man. And then you trade him for no fucking reason. You trade the former MVP that I've said like 5 times for the guy who's coming off an Achilles tear. You should
Who's
have cashed
came off
out on
from so
that.
many injuries.
You should have cashed out on that. This dude's been healthy.
See, Tyrone. So that energy was your energy towards me was pointed at the wrong person. It was
It
off
should be
of what
pointed at
you
me.
hear. He's going on his LaGreca rant right now. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm
he's
sorry.
doing
I'm
his
sorry.
LaGreca.
Dan, you
It's all
can't
good.
say that. You can't say that. You might get
Oh,
a cease and
my
desist.
bad, bad. WWE, WWE.
I'm just,
You're right.
I'm just
But no, but
listen.
for me, no, but Tyrone, but for me, you should know me by now. Like I, there's only 2 teams that I will never. It's the Cowboys and it's the Red Sox. Those 2 teams, I'm not saluting none of that. I have no hate for the Philadelphia 76ers. I
You should
always
now.
I enjoy underdogs. I got mine. Mine is still fresh. If when we said
We
it on
got
the show,
18, so it's okay. We got 18.
right? It's like mine.
That's what I'm
Mine is
saying.
still fresh. Mine is still fresh.
Hey,
Mine can
Brian.
be picked up. Mine can be picked up on a Blu-ray disc if they still make Blu-rays.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mine ain't on a VHS tape, even though I got a VCR that could play it. The six, I don't mind underdogs that have historically been underdogs.
Brian,
Yeah.
see, we can't.
I want to
Brian,
see,
we
and I
can't.
want to see, I want to see my boy JP happy. Let him
We
get
can't.
one in his big old age, not 80 something.
Brian. Brian, we can't talk NBA with Dan because like we don't know what mediocrity feels like. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta
Exactly.
solve that.
So again, that's what I'm saying. Like, we got 18. We chilling. I'm okay with my boy, who again should have never have been traded to go and get one to prove a point that you fucked up. Because see, I always say this: there's certain times in as fans we don't take accountability for the shit that we do. You don't like something, it's okay to voice an opinion. Dear Boston Celtics, you fucked up.
Plain and
So
simple.
plain and simple. So again, you were trying to hand them a title, and now that LeBron's there, what did I say? On paper, they should win it. And if they do in the next 2 years, fuck it. For the next 2
But
years, Celtics fans, we got, and I'll tell you right now, this is a sentiment in Boston right now where we are not happy. In the New England area, they are not happy about this trade. They're looking at fucking Brad Stevens like, what the fuck? And again, it wasn't really Brad, it was the new ownership that's trying to get under this double fucking tier tax bullshit that's going to be moving again soon, from what I heard. But it's like, we're doing this for no fucking reason. We were looking for a reason to get you out of here. As we call it out here in New England, we smear campaigned this dude. We were making a smear campaign for no reason. So yes, Philly is going to reap the benefits. And hell, again, they just got LeBron too. Well, fuck it. Go ahead, Philly. Go win one.
but here's now
Like, why
we can
not?
wrap we can wrap after this statement here because you're gonna like this one, especially you, Tyrone, right? The one thing Brian said a lot about this Philadelphia 76ers team was on paper,
Mm,
right? On paper. You even said on paper. What other Philadelphia team became a dream team on paper?
No team, because that Michael Vick Philadelphia Dream Team was not that, and I said it.
and
But
and but that's see, so that's where the if you want a little half ounce of hater,
mm.
and I'm an Eagles fan who lived that dream team bullshit. Just what be careful of what you wish for
I,
sometimes, because you just might not get
Hey, but Dad, don't forget, God gave Freddie Mitchell those hands. He gave
Fourth and
Freddie Mitchell those
26.
hands.
Fourth and 26, yo. But with that being said, Brian, thanks for coming through.
Oh, no
Thank you for
problem,
coming
gentlemen.
through. You know what it is.
Oh yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
no.
you know what to do.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Y'all already know I listen every week, show love all the time. That little discussion we were talking about earlier, we'll talk more, I guess, when the cameras are cut. But
Yeah.
it's always fun. Love supporting you guys. And again, it's a topic that I had to voice my opinion on, and I appreciate you guys allowing me to jump on with y'all. Much love as always. Shout out to the rest of the crew that's not here today. And yeah.
Pop up.
hey yo, listen.
You see, he gave the head nod before he tried to. He responded.
I don't listen, man. We came up with GP. It was Grand P, but then y'all came up with GP today. I'm running with GP. I can't. I just can't pop right now. I just can't. Pop out right now. So I'm gonna go with the GP. Hey Brian, I like having conversations with you. You know, you're one of the few men, like I said, it's hard to find men that can come through and have differences of opinion and disagree on things and keep it, understand, loving and all that kind of
Of
shit. You
course.
know what I mean?
Of course.
It's hard to find. I can't find these conversations at work. I can't find these conversations out in the street. You know what I mean? So I come here to actually talk real shit with real people, and I know I can say my takes, and I know they're crazy, but I know y'all know. So it's cool and everything
Of
is
course.
cool. And so I appreciate you coming on the show. I appreciate you actually showing up when you say you're gonna show up and just being a stand-up guy, you know what I mean? So I appreciate that. And Yeah, I'm going. Next person call me Pop Out. We're gonna have a problem. Like I'm Brian. I don't care. I'll pull up to Rhode Island. Dan, you
You
already
know what I was,
know.
you know what I was about to do. Tyrone knows exactly where I live too now. So
For
Yeah.
real.
So listen. This the last. We gonna dead to Pop Out. And shout out to no pause on this show. Dan ain't paused not one thing. And so we
it's
getting
been a
there.
few weeks actually. You ain't recognized. It's been a few weeks.
Yeah, so we getting there. We getting there. Yo, Brian, if you didn't, well, you know, because you listen every week. I've been on a campaign to stop the pausing on this show,
Mhm.
and Dan is the main culprit. So I'm working on him. I'm
Listen,
working
listen.
on
When you were saying there's not enough balls in Philly to go around, I was gonna say it, but Dan wasn't on, so I was like, you know what? I'll let that one slide.
I was here. I heard him say that shit, and I just let it go. It was almost an AO in there, but you know,
him.
those are just know. Even if I don't say it, it was said.
Oh, no, trust me, but my eyes lit.
But yeah, man, y'all already know. 20% off your order using that code starting five. Jared, again, look out this week. I'm gonna be making an order of some hooks rub. Shout out to again, I would say shout out to my daughter earning a potential use of a car because I gotta get a second car. Shout outs to the baby bird. I don't know if he's still over there. If you heard me last week, I don't know if my friend is still there or not. It might have grew up and flew away. Uh, but yeah, man. Once again, I'm probably gonna make it happen this week. If that money hits tomorrow, this shit might be already in play. Limited run of the Starfire podcast theme songs on vinyl. So if you've been a fan of ours, if you're a friend of ours, and you want some, I'll set the price eventually. And yeah, but they're coming. And last but not least, because I said it out loud the other night, but I'll say it here, just to try to like spike some more interest to the network and to the channel and all that stuff. Make it a network again. It was two flies just trying to fuck near me. But uh the mayor sucks at everything. Is going to be on the way. It's going to be a work in progress, but I have to speak it out loud to make sure I stick with it. And the mayor sucks at everything is going to be me just taking on different things. So there's going to be like short videos, probably 20, 30 minutes long, of like me gaming, playing video games or something, and be like the mayor sucks at uh Capcom versus SNK2. And I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna play it. I'm like, look, I'm gonna do a little thing, talk back, talk while playing, because I don't understand how streamers can sit there, get followers, and say nothing while streaming. But I'm gonna do it not as a stream, but more as like a show. And then, putting it out there to maybe like, hey, you know what? Like if you like I wanna do shit like this to like reach out to like a Justin Wong and be like, hey, be on my show. I want you to be on my show. Help me not suck. You know what I'm saying? Or like reach out to like I've always wanted to play drums. So it's gonna be like the mayor sucks at playing drums. And I'm gonna take like a drum class and be like, watch that. I even thought of like doing the mayor sucks at dancing. And then take me and my wife. We go do like a dance class or some shit like that, and just document it. Do it like a short show and see what that turns into. I even said the mayor sucks at pro wrestling, which I know I wouldn't suck, but I'm gonna have to do it while I'm still employed because y'all know my retirement plans. But go record and take a wrestling class
This
and get
is
like a
the big
one-on-one training.
flow.
Yeah, right. But I need this knee up and working without hurting first. Like I'm still walking in pain. But yeah, that's to come. The vinyls to come. Hopefully the other brothers can think of some shit to add on to the network and build. But yeah, with that being said and done, we out. And I meant what I said. I'll come back to a wrestling podcast if we ain't talking WWE because they got enough pause mouthpieces already.
Why you had to do it? Why you had
Peace.
to?